Good evening, car shippers. I'm asking you, where do you get car hauling training? And is there a car hauler boot camp? This is Tuesday Nights Live on Auto Transport Intel. I'm Jay, your host. Welcome back to the show. Hey, welcome back again, everybody, to Auto Transport Intel. It's Tuesday night. That means we're live, and it's 8 o'clock. And you're with me here on YouTube. So here we are again. Welcome back to the show where we talk about everything car hauling. We're talking about load boards and dispatching and searching for cars, setting up a new car hauling business, being a car shipping customer, talking to auto transport brokers, used trucks, trailers, insurance, ELD, CDL, DOT, FMCSA. This is Auto Transport Intel, and I want to welcome you back to Tuesday Nights Live. Listen, if this is your first time here, I want to give you the rundown. Okay, so what we're going to do is I gave you the welcome. That started about 3 minutes ago, and then I'm going to say, in a couple minutes, I'm going to say hello to the live chat. Oh, I need to change that. That's okay. This is a live show. I mean, that's what's fun about live shows. So we're here together. At about 10 minutes in, I'm going to go into the industry news. So I'm going to say hello in the live chat, which is over here. I got my monitor over here, and I see the chat growing. It's awesome. So we'll do industry news. That's stuff I get off of Facebook, memes, pictures, whatever you guys send me and whatever I find, whatever I think is relevant, hopefully interesting to you too. I'll spend a couple minutes on consultations and merch. And then I'm going to go into the discussion topic of the evening, which is car hauler boot camp. And then about an hour in, I'm going to go into the featured interview, which tonight we're talking to Serge, the car hauler. It was his idea to talk about car hauler boot camp. So this show is for you, Serge. But really, I mean, it's for us. Hopefully we're all here together for the same purpose. And I think it's going to be a great show. It's definitely not the end-all, be-all on this topic. Most shows are not. And I'm going to take this moment. Again, I'm so sorry about the audio quality of the last show. I think I got it figured out. So Kimberly's helping me on the back of the stream to make sure that the audio is good tonight. And actually, I'm using, what happened is I'm using another new microphone. I'm just going to point it out right now. This is the Blue Snowball. You see that? You can read it. It says blue. You may have seen this on, and you can actually hear as I move it around. You can hear the audio difference. You might have seen that advertised on Facebook. I'm not sure. So I've added that to the equation, and I think I messed up when I used it, and that's why we had kind of an echo effect. So I'm so sorry, and I hope to not do that again. And if the audio's bad, if the video's bad, if something's bad, if something's good, either way, let me know. And I do want to try and make the best show I can. So again, welcome to, this is episode 54, Car Hauler Boot Camp. And let's go into the live chat, because I said I would. Okay, so David Skew, welcome to the show, David. Asking if Dave is still selling his truck. I think so. So you want to contact Dave at Clarksville. And Dave, here he is. So Dave Williams is here to answer David Skew's questions. So that's cool, man. And I appreciate it. That's what this community is all about, man. Information, whatever. selling, hiring, firing. Okay, hey Grant, Expeditious Haulers, welcome back to the show, man. I appreciate you tuning in. Peterbelt 379, welcome back to the show. What's up, car hauling family? That's right. And Peterbilt 379. I'm doing pretty well. I feel pretty good. Just another week, but I'll tell you what. I had a heinous day yesterday dispatching. Oh my gosh, seriously, heinous. We'll talk about that more later. Dave Williams is here. Hello, radio. Did you hear about that trucker protest in D.C.? I did hear about it. I think everybody did, or most people did. And it's interesting. There seem to be mixed reviews of, was that a good idea, a bad idea? Should they be arrested? Are they heroes? I'm not weighing in on it, really. Just like I don't really weigh in on politics. I do personally, but I don't on the show. So let's talk. I'm curious what you guys think. I really am curious what you guys think. What's up? Paul is here from Max Premier Transport Service. Welcome back to the show, Paul. Hey, Trucking Answers is here. It's Netflix and J-Time. Thank you, Mark. Mark with Trucking Answers is here. If you don't know about Trucking Answers, go to YouTube, Trucking Answers. He is answering freight questions out the wazoo. That's right, I said it, out the wazoo. There's so much to know. You guys know this. You guys are truckers. And there's a lot you know, but you might have that little blind spot. If there's that little thing you don't know, check out Trucking Answers. If he doesn't know, he will help you find the answer. It's Trucking Answers. And actually, and we're going to do some kind of live collaboration soon, so I'm looking forward to that. The one and only is back. Welcome back, the one and only. Man, been with me since the beginning, dude. Thank you for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't already hit the like button, please do. I need the likes, comments, shares, and subscriptions. And the show is growing. I'm really, really excited and thankful for that. So thank you so much for participating in that. DP Dispatch is with us. We're going to talk to Davison on the back end after we get through some of the car hauling boot camp, etc. And then we're going to also get into some dispatch information. It's going to be another long show, so get tucked in. Yeah, man, this is a long one. This is car hauling. That's right. What else we got here? I think I skipped. Okay, new to dispatching cars. I'm a dispatcher doing freight. Great, Keenan. Then you're going to enjoy the segment. I'm going to do a segment with Anthony of Shaggy's Consulting and dispatching. That's true. That's a true statement. We're going to talk to Anthony. So I know you're going to learn something. William says, boom diggity. Dude, every show I learn something. I really do. And I'm hoping that it's twofold for you. And that's why I try to put this show together. Trevor Lee is with us. Robert, man, we have got to get together and make a video at some point. I was editing a video last night. I'm not done. I'm way behind on my editing. And I'm upset with myself over it. And I want to fix that. So we got to make a video. Jose, what's going on, Jose? Thanks for joining the show. I appreciate it. I haven't seen you in here in a while, and I think you got an updated graphic. It looks good, man. Ty Thompson, Big Booty Boot Camp. Okay. All right, there you go. We're going to cover the booty camp. And Grant says we got the mix. You know we got the mix. And should try a Mr. Microphone. I don't know, man. I don't know. This blue, man, this snowball blue, am I coming through loud and clear? Mic check, 1, 2, testing, 1, 2. What do you think about that new Kenworth W990? Man, that's beyond my scope. I am more of a dispatch guru, which is why I have aligned myself with folks to fill in my blind spots. And actually, this show is dedicated to, it's unlimited. The amount of people that can contribute to us regurgitating knowledge. I don't want to use the regurgitating. But you know what I'm trying to say. Come on. The Goya Group is with us. Hey, from Uncle Tony's Auto Transport. All right, cool. Welcome to the show, the Goya Group. And thanks for saying hello. I do appreciate it. And thank you, Peterbilt, for bringing up, asking the question. You're asking the community. I guarantee you're not asking just me. Good Tuesday. Got my LLC back. Jayville Transportation System. Sherman Jack says. Well, welcome back to the show, Sherman Jack. And thanks for sharing that with us, man. I hope you're doing well, and I hope that we can contribute to good business. What's up, Ryan Chavez? Welcome back to the show. Oh, wow, David, you already sold your trailer? That's awesome, man. Ernest Martin, welcome back to the show. I appreciate it, Ernest. I look for you. You know that. I see both sides of the agreements, too. I know, of the arguments on the DC backup. I think they were protesting haircuts and sobriety. Well, who isn't? Hey, Sylvia, what's up? Thanks for tuning in to Car Hauling Dispatcher Live. And in fact, I got some new plans for Car Hauling Dispatcher Live. I think what I'm going to turn the show into is, over time, I am going to start dispatching for you guys live. So that's in the works. That's going to be interesting. Actually joined the trucking group that did it called Black Smoke Matters. That's pretty cool. But only joined to find out why they blocked the interstate. Okay, well, share with us, man. Do tell. All the wazoo and none of the calories. Hey! Okay. The truckers in the protest are part of the Facebook group Black Smoke Matters. Yeah, I like that. Hey, what's up, Dominic Satchel? Welcome back to the show. We're saying hello back to you. I'm kicked back in my PJs with my coffee. That's good, man. That is good thinking. Yeah, dude. Kick it back. I can't drink coffee this late. It wires me up. Look at me. I haven't had coffee in hours. I'm freaking out. I'm at home, too, departing at 4 a.m. Dude, the sound is perfect? Awesome. That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you. The levels look good. The microphone seems to be acting well. There's no other channels of audio. There should be no echo. Awesome. Thank you. My truck is down. I'm probably home for the week. Okay, well, no problem. We're in no hurry. I got too much editing to do. Dave says yes. Trucking Answers. Hashtag Guru. David Skew, I'm back. Dispatch Monkey's with us. What's up, man? We watching your awesome show as always. J-Rocks is Pro Car Haulers, guys. Thank you, Dispatch Monkey. That's Moosey over at Dispatch Monkey. And I know he's going to keep us posted when he hits the next milestone in whatever he's working on. So the group Black Smoke Matters and the group ELD or me, uncensored, hate each other. Oh, they do. Threaten to show up. See, that's the thing, man. Dude, that's one of the reasons why I stay unpolitical, non-political in this group, is that I don't want any drama. I want to stay focused on the education and the entertainment at hand and the news. There's plenty to talk about without getting political. I'm in ELD Uncensored, but no one's mad at me. They blocked the interstate because of the hours of service. Joe said he blocked it because Ray Martinez told him he would show up at 10:04 and didn't. Well, you know, we're all motivated by different things, right? And that's why we're here. It's 8:15, and yeah, man, what motivates you guys, you know? I mean, it's money, right? It's business. We're motivated by business. So let's get into industry news. And by the way, this picture in the back, this is was shared by my driver John, and this is at I want to say an Odessa or a plant. It's not a plant. It's an auction near Detroit, I believe. I'm pretty sure that's what this is. Kind of looks like those lanes. This really looks more like pre-auction, or maybe this is a holding area post-auction. Anyways, that's okay. I didn't get the information on that. Oh, dang it, Jay. You blew it. All right, let's see what we got here. First slide. I'll give him this. He can strap down a load. That's nice. That is, I mean, it's not. There's cones. Oh, this is post conage. Man, he found the hole on that one, didn't he? Alrighty. Name something you see at a truck stop. Yeah, I know. I did a Steve Harvey meme last week, but you know, number one, I love Steve Harvey memes, right? Who doesn't? Come on, that's easy. So, all right, name something. Okay, here's something you might see at a truck stop: a map to the Detroit Mannheim. And by the way, you know what I like about this map? It's on paper. Is there a digital version? I don't know. Probably not. Knowing the way, you know, it gets... And that's what actually the video that I'm editing is car hauler at an auto auction. Because when you get there, man, it gets real, doesn't it? Things get pretty real at the auction. Don't let this happen to you. Know your gross trailer weight. And this kind of ties into what we're talking about on the boot camp. So, Don't let your donkey swing in the air. When a girl finally decides to tell you what's wrong. I threw this in there. This one's for you, car haulers. 95% of my audience is male, so I got a 1 in 20 chance of this joke going sideways. It's not too bad. I've seen worse odds. It's going to be Halloween soon, so I threw this in there. I don't know what this is, but it's interesting. Okay, here we go. There's you go. There's your 95 news story. Shutting down 95 south of D.C. for the mandatory 30-minute break mandated by the FMCSA. Truck drivers are humans, not machines. We need flexibility in our daily schedules to be able to do the job safely. I agree with that. I agree with jobbers. I agree with drivers being in control of the decision making. Frankly, it's something I just frankly agree with that. Because I don't need my ELD telling me that I've had too many Twinkies today, I didn't get enough steps. Shock tree. What if your Fitbit shocked you? That's next. Not everyone can sleep when told to. I know I can't. I would like to thank all my friends that went to Washington on 10/4 to do a peaceful protest to show the truckers are being treated unfair with those electronic recorded regulations. Thank you. Now, on the other side of the fence, do I think it's great to have a bunch of trucks in the freeway when I don't even know what you're doing? Dude, I gotta get to work. I gotta feed the cats, or I sold this monitor on Craigslist. I gotta get to the gas station. I don't know what it is, man. But I don't, if I don't know why you're there, I'm just gonna hate truckers more. I'm just saying, dude. I don't know what we do. All right, if I pass you on the right, you're in the wrong lane. Get off the phone. I was at an intersection, and I did this to a lady in a Suburban. Whatever. I did the hands. She was so mad at me. She started yelling at me through her windshield as she drove past me. I'm like, no, get off the phone. Just hang up the phone. She was mad, dude. This is a bumper in Texas. It's also a front porch. So it's a bumper porch. I know it's not a bumper porch. Looks like a bumper porch. Honey, what is he talking about? This is what happens when you don't need straps. Who needs the straps? What are these straps for? I don't know, to hold the trailer together? Good thinking. Let's go. I can't even figure out what that is. It's almost like it's part of a, I'm thinking Christmas, like it's part of a, it's like this is the Noah's Ark part of the Christmas, what do you call that? The baptism scene? I don't know what this is, but I know it's got a lot of overhang. I know that if you drive like that and you get pulled over by the DOT, you can kiss it goodbye. Okay, that is some serious overhang. You can't do that. Can you do that? You can't do that. I don't think there's enough flags to make that legal. I don't know. I'm just saying. I saw somebody called this the Vlad. Is it because it's a V shape? I don't know. Does anybody else call that the Vlad? This is a picture of a truck that just got delivered. Literally just got off the trailer, and another car hauler comes flying into the dealership and does that. True story. That really happened. I'm glad I wasn't there, but I know the driver who was. That is no joke. That's gonna be a violation. We're gonna need you to pull around back, driver, and stay there while I get the gloves and the jar of mayonnaise. Now this one is, I don't know if this is from all the rainfall. By the way, as we enter another wave of hurricane season, please be safe out there. I hope that, rather than trying to brave the storm and find a canal running through the road, you're just hanging out at the truck stop, staring at your ELD, and worrying about life and enjoying auto transport intel. So please don't drive into the canal. Now, I don't know why this guy flipped over, but I did read that I think it has been pointed out that this was not proper distribution among the axles. Maybe put that big one on the back, right? Over the axles. I think that's what we're talking about. And instead, we got a rollover. So next time you hear about the insurance being so high, there you go. There's your graphic. And then, this is really weird. I saw that truck just a few days ago. Red Cab, that was the name on the truck. I'm assuming they have more than one truck. But I just saw it the other day. And then I saw this on Facebook. So, and I think the caption was, lucky we didn't blow up. So, no joke, man. No joke. That is no joke. You already said that, Jay. Okay, so what happened there? Is that a case of the thanks for swerving? Is that what that is? Or is that sorry I was texting? I think that looks like sorry I was texting. Or how about this? Sorry I was updating my ELD. I don't know, man. That's gnarly, dude. I don't like sharing this stuff, but if you're a car shipping customer and you're thinking about shipping a car and you're watching this show right now and you're horrified, good. Because don't Google cheap car shipping. This is a high-risk business, industry. It's tough. It's long days. It's not a pizza. Don't tell us what time you want it delivered. If you know what day it's going to be delivered, that's a good thing. Don't let this happen. Don't tell him it has to be there at 2 o'clock and your hair appointment's at 3. That's probably what it was. The guy was reading on his phone, oh my God, they have a hair appointment at 3. I better book it. Although, I don't know. I'm not delivering cars. Meh. Alright, so, yeah, I'm missing some of these tags. I'm missing the live chat. That's okay, I'll come back to it. Okay, so this is real. This is real. Alright? This is somebody on their phone checking centraldispatch.com. It is Atlanta to Atlanta, a Chevy Camaro paying $10. I think the caption said, the car puller is 8. Now, I blurred out the company name because, dude, seriously. I mean, I guess I understand it's a car. So you posted it on a car hauling load board. But, come on. Who's going to pick up and strap down and deliver a $10 car? Just get an Uber, dude. I don't know. They probably have the craziest hair appointment. Here's another real one. Well, I should have. Dang it. I meant to blur out the company name. Can I move it? There we go. Oh, don't call them. Come on, guys. Honda Accord, 10 cents a mile. Sign me up. I realize that Dallas to Newark is busy, but come on, man. 10 cents a mile? That doesn't even cover if we're running on corn gas. Honey, did he just say corn gas? I believe it did. I don't know what's worse, the fact that I deadhead that far or that I'm empty and bouncing everywhere pissing me. Oh, dang it. I just broke my YouTube cussing rule. I knew I was going to screw that up. You guys know I don't cuss on the show. I'm on YouTube. You know, I don't want to get banned. You know? Alright. Alright. Hey, who got this today? Ready Logistics has another customer satisfaction survey. So, are you guys satisfied? How would you rate Ready Logistics? I don't know. I'm curious. I'm not going to answer that. I refuse to answer the question. Could you repeat the question? And we're going to need a break. Alright, so, by the way, if there's this much to look at on your inspection form, it needs to pay more than, I think this was on a truck paying 70 cents a mile. If it's brand new and it's this complicated, I'm going to need more money on that, dude. That's crazy. That's page 1. Let's go to page 2. Now, you guys know this is new car stuff, right? don't pawn off a new car in the used car market. Come on, man. That's not fair. What did the broker get paid? That's what I want to know. Dude, that's a lot. Oh my goodness. Help starting my business. How did you guys afford that big chunk of money for the start of the insurance policy? Alright, so as you can see, we're now moving closer to boot camp talk. That's a good question. How do you afford that big chunk of money to start off your insurance policy that's ticking away while you're not even booking cars yet? I don't know, man. Question to lease carrier guys. How much do you get charged for the cargo and liability insurance from the carrier? You guys know what's wrong with this question? Bueller? Bueller? It means they don't have enough. I'll wait for it. They don't have enough information to actually get the right answer. Because I think the answer is, if even though you're leased on, you still pay for your own insurance. Am I right? But I think I saw this in the freight board. Anyways, there could be different permutations, but lease on could be a whole day in boot camp. Maybe half a day. Alright, hello car haulers. I have a question regarding registration under 26,000 pounds. Did you guys see this on Facebook? It's a good question, and it's something we see a lot, essentially, and I'm not going to read it all, but I think what it comes down to is, do you get a CDL or do you not get a CDL? It's kind of like the Washington, D.C. protest. You're going to find people on each side of that vehemently argue their side. Because I mean, I have heard from guys that say, I don't need a CDL, I don't want a CDL, I make a ton of money without a CDL, life is good without a CDL. However, most people I talk to don't really understand how that's even possible. And I know the more I learn through trying to book cars, talking to brokers, talking to drivers, all the way up the whole chain of auto transport, it seems like for the most part, you want to get a CDL so you don't have to have those questions. But you know what? We are here to talk about it. So that's why I put it in the slides. Okay. Brokers get mad and they don't want to pay. Really? Never heard of such a thing. And finally, Monday morning new course starting. I think this is an Asian driver thing. I think you can tell by the insignia, but it's a great picture anyways, because that is what car hauler boot camp, I guess, would look like at maximum capacity, except, you know, maybe a little bit different. Okay, so there we go. We are out of industry news, and we are going to go into, oh my gosh, you got to be kidding me, it's 8:29. No way. I'm actually on time. I can't believe it. Oh, no, I'm not on time because you know what we didn't do? Consultations and merch. By the way, this is really important. See this one up here? Yes, I raised the price. It used to be $50 for 1 hour. It's now $100. But I've also increased the, it's now a two-man conference. So if you're a car hauler and you want to build your car hauling business, you get me and Ty, and we'll be talking more about Ty. Ty and I'll do a show, but you get me and Ty for 1 hour, and we are going to give, I'm telling you, here's the best way to look at it. Ty was saying this, and it's true. If you're looking to start a car hauling business and dump 50, 60, 70, 80, 90K into this business, spend the $100. Spend 1 hour with us. And if after 1 hour you think that you still want to do it, we helped you, because it's possible you may not want to do it. And that's the beginning of a real car hauler boot camp. We're going to talk about that. Now, if you don't know anything about car hauling, you're going to talk to me for an hour and a half, and that is $100. These prices are, I don't do a lot of consultations, but these prices are in effect. That's my offer, and my offer stands. Okay, oh yeah, sold! We got the repo hammer. Hey, have you guys seen my Auto Transport Intel repo hammer? Do you know why I have this? Do you guys know why I have a repo hammer? Because if I consider booking another repo, I'm going to hit myself or something to remind myself that I'm not booking that repo. Okay. Also, we got the mix. where you get the t-shirt. This is a high quality bright t-shirt. That's why the frame goes dark when I hold it up in front of camera. That's the back. Alert today, alive tomorrow. On the front, you got Auto Transport Intel. I know. It's actually a pretty cool shirt. I'm pretty proud of it. That's why I wheel it out every show. This is where everybody yawns and clicks off. All right, just kidding. All right, but that's the mix. You get a shirt. You get a 1-hour phone conversation, and I'm going to throw some business cards at you, and hopefully you can help me spread the word. Yes, it's expensive. It is also a way to help the show, so I appreciate that, and you get a shirt out of it. And if you want to do the VIP, you know the VIP, actual pickup, actual delivery, you'll actually get a mug too. What a great mug it is. Oh, what a mug it is. So that, oh, and here's the business cards. Ah, dang it. Okay. Hey, it's live, man. Anything can happen. So there's my business card. Let me know if you need some business cards. Let me know what I can do for you to help me spread the message. And I'm in the Kansas City area. If you want to have barbecue with me and make a video, a car hauling video, let me know. Send me an email, autotransportintel@gmail.com. And if you want to donate to the show or sign up for any of these packages, go to paypal.me/autotransportintel. And I appreciate that in advance. Thank you so much. And here's some information of what consultations include. Okay, now I'm definitely behind because it's time for the question of the day. The question is, does the auto transport industry need another car hauler boot camp? Does the auto transport industry need another car hauler boot camp? The question then you now ask is there a car hauler boot camp? Well, it's a good question. It's something we're going to look at because I'll tell you what, I'm not so sure there is. And here's why I say it. Let's go to the internet. All right. Now, of course, you're on my YouTube channel, and then you can go to, hey, how you doing? Auto Transport Intel Facebook page. You can go to my blog post and read the 20 Steps to Car Hauling, which is, it's rising in the Google ranks. In Google. That's so cool, man. Thank you guys for checking out the article, and in exchange, it rises in the Google ranks. The clicks, the Google, the clicks, the Google. It's awesome, man. Let's see, that's a map. Okay, yeah, we got the load boards. We can check those into those. So let's check on this. The question is, have you guys ever heard of Auto Hauler University? Well, in the past, I had. So I was a dispatcher. I'm still a dispatcher. Dang it. But in the past, I had heard of Auto Hauler University. I don't know if I Googled it. I don't remember how I found it. That was like 4 years ago. And I was like, wow, that seems awesome. It's a great idea. And it was a thing. Well, I called them today. You know why I called them? Because if you go to our schools, it doesn't list car hauling. And if you go to course schedules, this is online. You guys can go to this right now. nationaltrainingschools.edu, course schedules. Click on Auto Hauler. See, those are the CDL Now course. Click on Auto Hauler. Nothing. Heavy Now. Heavy Equipment. Oh, there's nothing there either. So you got CDL Now and you got Heavy Now. You go to Auto Hauler. There's nothing there. I called them today to find out what's going on. Do they still have Auto Hauler University? And you know what they said? No, they do not. So I went to Google. Car Hauler University. Okay, you guys are following along? Yeah, you can see this. Auto Hauler University. Okay, we just said that one doesn't exist. Okay, shift into a better gear. Okay, Auto Hauler Training Institute. All right, CDL Life. So we could check into that. Auto Hauler Training on Twitter. Auto Hauler University, same thing. Okay, Learn Car Hauling, that's me. Build a Car Hauler Business, that's just a blog post. I don't mean it's just a blog post, but it's a blog post. It's not an actual Car Hauler University. This, I believe, is a lead generator. PJ. Okay, so suddenly we're already out of. Okay, so is there not an auto hauler university? Is there not a car hauler boot camp? How do you. Oh, and there's me again. How do you learn about car hauling training? How do you get trained as a car hauler? Okay, bad news. The one university that we had seems to have stopped. And that's not gossip, it's just a fact. On this show, I try to stick with facts or slanted opinions. Ooh, man unloading cars from vehicle. Ugh, that's on page 3. Okay, so we don't have one. We don't have a car hauling boot camp. I will not. Thank you, DP. So that's what we're going to talk about. So what did I do? All right. I went into Notepad where I like to sketch out ideas, and I started to sketch out, all right, what if we had a car hauler boot camp? What do we do? All right, I split it into 2 parts, labor and business, and before doing anything, we have basically the not Eyes Wide Shut. What's the movie? Fight Club. This is the Fight Club part of the training. From the very beginning. When you show up, we ask questions. Why does car hauling exist? Might be a good question, maybe not. But essentially, why do you think you want to be a car hauler? And then we slam the door. And then you sleep in the rain. And then we open up the next morning, and if you're still there, we're going to ask you again. Because literally, dude, why do you think you want to be a car hauler? I know, it's kind of crazy. The thing is, you guys know this. Car haulers know this. We're not so sure the car hauling industry needs more car haulers. Maybe. Maybe not. Or maybe the car hauling industry needs some things fixed so that new entrants have a better chance of succeeding. Actually, I think that's the real answer. But in the meantime, while things are still not fixed, because listen, man, if there's a DC protest, clearly things are not in the fixed category. I don't have to show you that again. You can picture the cars on the freeway. Things are not fixed. You know what else isn't fixed? How about that 10 cents per mile car? That's not fixed. You can't live on that. That should not be an actual posting. That should just be, you shouldn't, when they go to hit the submit button, the button should just jam up and like dissolve into the keyboard. You should not even be able to submit that thing. That's not an actual, that'd be like putting animals on the shelves in the grocery store. You can't put animals on the shelves in the grocery store. Those aren't groceries. You can't submit a 10 cents a mile car. It should not be possible. If it is possible, there's a problem in this industry. There's a lot of problems in this industry. However, if you're still there in the morning and you really want to be a car hauler, fine. We'll start talking about car hauling training. Let's go. I know, the phone's not the most convenient place, but it is on camera. And I'm sticking to it. It's me and my... Alright. Alright, we got Don. Let's call Don. Let's see what we got here, Don.
Hey.
Hey, welcome to Auto Transport Intel, Don.
I must have a lag on my computer. You're just now dialing me on the internet there.
That's normal.
Turn this off.
That's normal.
Yeah.
That's right. Turn your sound down and
Yeah,
turn your excitement up. Okay.
Yeah, turn my excitement. Sorry. Yeah, I saw your hammer there right when I clicked off of it. That was a great idea.
Dude, you know what's great about this, Don? This was your idea.
Don't blame yourself on me.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Technically, I don't know if
All right. Fine, it was my idea.
But yeah, we did talk about this about 4 or 5 years ago about a auto hauler school. And I think what we came up with, I was thinking about it all day today after you talked to me, and I think what we figured out was that it's a niche, is what it is. Is that you can teach a CDL, and you could teach it, which globes across, it spans across reefer, flatbed, all these different things about driving. But when it comes to a niche, it's a little bit more difficult because of the the vehicles, and there's so many variables to it that like we've seen. I mean, if you have a dually or you have a semi truck or you have different things, how do you equip a school for that? You have to have 15 different pieces of equipment. So that was one of the things I was thinking about today, because it kind of struck me after you called me, and I was like, well, why? What did we ever come up with that? And then I started to think about it, and I thought, yeah, that's what we were thinking about, on it. So.
Well, it is. It's interesting you say this. It's almost like in this moment, I don't have any actual flashbacks, but if I did, I think I just had one. Because you and I mean, literally, so I was dispatching for you, like, dude, when did I start dispatching? It was like 5 years ago.
13 or 2013 or 14 or something like that. Somewhere in there. I think it was 13.
And we worked together for 2 to 3 years.
Oh, at least. Yeah.
Right? I mean, it was a long, long time.
Yeah, and we've talked every year since then. So
that's right.
Quite often.
And that's what's so great, dude. You were there when I was just starting Auto Transport Intel, pretty frustrated. This is June 2017. And right. you helped me, brainstorm ideas, and I think once again I don't think we talked about car hauler boot camp at that time, but we basically were talking about what is actually happening right now, which is talking at this level. And you were in my first video, Learn Car Hauling.
And it was that video, and I think at some point we talked about, what if there's a school, and you know how you start Googling on the internet as I'm talking, and you come up with stuff, and they were all closed. And I remember, I think we just kind of dropped it after that.
We did. I think we did.
But then you brought it up yesterday, or today, or whenever you called me, and I started thinking about today, and I think what we came up with is that there's too many different classifications of auto haulers as far as equipment goes. I mean, if you think about it, I mean, there's at least 8 different types of haulers that hold different amounts. I mean, the only thing that's the same is, what DOT requirement is required for securement of the load and height and weight and things of that nature. So it's kind of a difficult thing to teach, I think. And then you got 2 different types of people coming into the business. You got guys that never drove a truck before, that go out and buy a dually and a 3-car wedge, and they have no truck driving experience. Or you've got guys that's had, 30 years of truck driving experience, and you're trying to teach them about weight distribution, and putting the vehicles on correctly and all the other variables. So I think it would be really hard to teach. But, I mean, you could, let's do it.
Well, it's interesting, and I want to say this, guys. I see a lot in the live chat that I want to say hello to. I mean, there's a lot of people jumping in. William Richardson, thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Windy City Sink is with us tonight. I hope I said that correctly. Also, I see that we've got Sean Steinberg, Ocean Roads Transport is with us. That's another video I still need to edit. And Whoop is with us. Welcome back to the show. Amiris Camacho is with us. Who else? Roxy Auto Transport is with us. Dix Her is with us. So I thank you guys for tuning in. And I want to say hello to you because, oh yeah, Trevor Lee just gave a super chat, by the way. Can I get a coffee cup? Yeah, man. I tell you what, Trevor Lee, yes, that'll get you a coffee cup. So when we get together, I owe you a coffee cup. Do me a favor, Robert. Will you send me an email, autotransportintel@gmail.com, and remind me that I owe you a coffee cup when we get together, and I'll also try to remember. Now, as I say that, and Sergeant Schill is with us. Thanks for joining the show. What's interesting is what you said, Don, is that you're right. The DOT sees car haulers kind of all the same way. They don't care if you're a high mount or a wedge or whatever. They have their regulations, and they have a lot of them. But when you're dealing with talking to other drivers or showing up at locations, your type of car hauler actually begins to play a big part in what kind of money you're going to make, what are you going to haul, how far are you going, where are you going, are you going to get repo? I mean, you get into the minutia. And I think that's your point, right?
It is. I mean, well, you've got two different things going on. There's a business plan or business model, which, that's distance equals rate equals, time and travel and things of that nature. That's a business plan. You should know that. If you don't know something in the beginning, you should be able to figure it out really quick. If you can't figure it out in the first year, you're going to sink. So you got to figure out what's your profit before you're going to start making some money from. The other part is you need to know the legalities of it. Like you said with DOT. I mean, you need to know what your height is. You need to know how to keep a load from moving around. You need to know what every state's going to require as far as the length. Because, if you drive, say you drive with a, probably somebody's going to correct me on this, but if you're driving with a straight truck and a wedge trailer into, I'm going to say Illinois. It's been a while since I've been over that way. I haven't done anything semi for a while, but they have certain rules if you have a truck bed on or if you have a flat bed on. You can have slip outs. You can have different length. You can have different weight. There's a lot of variations per state. Do you need an overlength permit? Can you overhang 6 feet?
Oh my gosh, overhang! Like you could spend half a day on overhang.
Oh yeah, because car hauling is something different than what everybody else does. I mean, these guys that haul a concrete barrier, that's what they haul every day. The exact same length concrete barrier. They know their business. They know where they're going. They know what to do. They know what the permits are. With car hauling, you might pick up a truck one day and it's just a regular cab truck. The next day you've got a quad or a mega cab truck that no one lets you know, and now you're overhanging 6 feet. Can you get through every state that you need to get back home or get it delivered?
Oh yeah, getting into the states. I mean, the regulations. Essentially, what's so interesting is quickly, no matter what area of auto transport training you're discussing, you get into minutia and exceptions, and I mean the rules alone will make you crazy. And that's before you even learn how to strap down a car.
And I'm not sure that the DOT know all the rules, to be honest with you. I've had a lot of data queues that came back corrected after I inquired about them. So,
And that's why we've even heard. I mean, part of the training is know that a DOT officer, it's up to his or her discretion whether or not you get a violation or a warning.
Right.
Well, that's fantastic.
Yeah, and I've even had guys pull me over before where every vehicle was tied down. Just so happened a strap come loose, and they weren't worried about that. They were worried about something else. Their job for the day is to check for drugs, someone running over their time, whatever that is for the day. That's what they're looking for. And he's like, hey, you got a strap loose. Then I've had another thing where I've had a strap that was rubbing up next to a tire that at some point had touched the tire or something, and they put me out of service for that. It depends.
How about the time, remember that story you told me, you're in a parking lot, didn't a guy come and wake you up telling you got to move your truck? What? There was some terrible story you told me. It was awful.
Yeah, because I was working on the light. I had a light out.
Yes.
I had no way to clean my hands. I couldn't go any further because of my time. I cleaned my hands with rubbing alcohol or hand sanitizer. And I fell asleep for 20 minutes. He wakes me up, and when he tells me to move my truck, he comes back and he lights me up and he gets me out of the truck and he said, I smell alcohol. And I'm like, well, it's hand sanitizer. It's right there on my... I was so disoriented because I'd only been asleep for 20 minutes. It was the weirdest thing ever.
Oh my gosh. That's why I always use the hand sanitizer story from now on Friday night.
Yeah. Well, don't put me out there to hang on that one. That was a bad night. I've had a lot of bad nights with DOT, but
I know.
But I mean, that's also on the subject of the schooling thing. I don't think you could teach people what DOT isn't going to require, or what they're going to check for. You can show them the basics, but that's state by state, case by case. That's across the board. It's any vehicle that you drive with a CDL. They're going to differentiate on different things. I think with the car hauling thing, I think if you had a class, you would have to almost start with just the basics. And I think one of the biggest basics that whether you've just started this business or whether you've been in it for 20, 30 years hauling different kinds of freight, is weight distribution and vehicle rotation. Because before you know it, you can be at 14 foot 5 inches if you don't have your vehicle set right on the trailer, or you can have weight on the back of the trailer that's lifting the weight off the truck tires and you're not getting good braking. There's a lot of things like that I would think, as far as safety and correct way of loading vehicles and or low rotation, would be one of the most key things that you could teach somebody in car hauling, I think.
So
I learned a lot with that.
if you can see my screen, I know you have a delay, but I'm going to leave it where it is for let's see, let me make this a little bit larger. I think I told you that I was going to jot down some notes, and so I did. And truth being told, what I did was I actually went to Auto Hauler University, and I looked at some of their notes, and actually I didn't find them comprehensive like I thought I would, so then I also considered some of the things we've talked about, and tried to come up with an order of, and what this is tonight, you guys. Right now, we are brainstorming car hauler basic training and boot camp. Like, since now, and I'm going to tell you, I know one person that is doing, and I'll just mention him now, that way it's all fair. Paul Brost has been on the show, and he has Match Point Auto Transport training classes. And in all fairness, and actually I really enjoyed having him on the show, and I've actually recommended some people check him out. But I don't think just his program is going to be enough to satisfy a nationwide need. In fact, if 2 people left this show tonight and set up car hauling boot camp, I still think there's room for more. Because I don't know how many car haulers could get trained a day, but in fact I don't even know the statistics on that. But I would think also these courses, if they were in different areas of the country, right? Which is why I think in his classes he's actually traveling. Isn't this interesting? He's got a class Saturday in Elkton, Maryland, and then Sunday, November 11th, in Kenly, North Carolina, which I think is closer to where he is. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah. Well, and another thing is I sit here and think too. I think I've said it on one of the other shows, or I've said it a couple times, is that I'm in no way sponsoring any big companies like United Road or anything like that. But if you were wanting to get into car hauling and you could get on and drive a truck, and you had experience driving the truck, and you wanted to learn how to do it, get in there with guys like that have $200,000 trucks, that have equipment that's correct, that will teach you everything you need to know for free, and then you turn around and you can go from point A to point B on somebody else's dime.
Yeah.
And if you decide, hey man, I'm going to take on my own authority, I'm going to do my own thing, you've got 6 months under your belt of tying them down, picking them up, you learn some of the terminology that goes along with it, and you won't know everything, but you're learning for free, and you're learning to get paid, and you're getting paid for it, I mean, that's,
yeah. On the job,
like anything else. I mean, I don't know how to go over and trim. I don't know how to cut down trees. But if I was going to learn how to cut down trees professionally, I think I'd go work for a lawn care type setup, tree trimming place for 6 months to a year and learn everything there was to know and get paid. And then I would go out and start my own business. I mean, it's not a bad idea.
And I agree with you. And yet I know, because I get a lot of emails, questions, etc. Some people just do not want to work in-house for somebody else.
Yeah, and I mean that's the whole idea. Freedom to do what you want.
Yep, and they have the capital to get started. They just need a way to get the education, and
right.
there seems to be a lack of formal car hauling education.
Yeah, you could almost set up a series of videos. I mean, we could probably even do that. Of just basics, and
well,
just like how we did that deal where you start the how to start an auto hauling business. Remember, it had how many steps did we have in that thing?
Well, there's the 20 steps to car hauling blog post,
steps, yeah.
And it's great. I'm really proud of that blog post, but that's still just a roadmap. to me, I learn best when I can actually work with somebody one-on-one. Um, and I believe in that. And so I believe that, and plus I can't teach all the strapping down and stuff. What I can do, and I mean, I've got the dispatcher training series. I can train you on dispatching till your eyes fall out.
Right, right.
But I can't teach you the strapping down part. And that I think has to happen in person too, right? So you can do the practice actually strapping down a car. There's no video I think that can actually substitute actually being there and doing it.
That's probably true. And I mean, I went from around the wheel straps, over the wheel straps, the chains, and every single thing I had a learning curve with. I mean, I know it sounds crazy now that I look back on it, but I mean, when you're putting around the straps around the wheels, you got to make sure you don't get any of the brakes in the way. You want to make sure it's something that's going to hold 50 miles down the road. You're going to know whether or not you did it right. And
Totally.
how to pull straps against each other, chains away from each other. I mean, there is a learning curve with that. I would you could probably teach that, but like I said, every vehicle's different. I mean, a lot of people don't allow chains anymore, but if you did, you look underneath each vehicle. I mean, a Saturn has totally different hose than a Dodge Grand Caravan. Where to hook, what's going to hold, what's going to not tear anything up. There's a lot of variations to it. I don't know. I mean, it's a lot of things that we've learned over the years, and then it's also a little bit of common sense too.
In fact, you got a question from Whoop. He says, "I got a question for Don. What are the thoughts on someone going from towing into auto hauling?" I guess I would start with what kind of skills do they already have coming in? I mean, is that a helpful? Could there be some benefits there?
It is. I mean, you understand the basics of how to. I mean, they have, as far as I know about towing. I mean, that's something that's I don't know anything about. But they hook the vehicles down. They secure the vehicles the same way. I mean, you have to have one point in the front, one point in the back. Opposite sides of the vehicle. It's the same. Towing and car hauling are the same on that. The one thing about towing and car hauling, I guess it depends on how big of a trailer you're going to get with it. I mean, when you're doing a towing, you can pull into someone's driveway and move vehicles anywhere you want to, operable or inoperable. You have a lot of different capabilities with cables and things of that nature. When you start getting into car hauling, you kind of have to find a location you can get to and bring the vehicles to the trailer.
Oh man!
And then
totally.
And then when you load them up, you have to have space in between them. Depends on what he was towing. If he was towing just junk cars, I mean, when you start hauling nicer cars, you got to make sure you have plenty of space for the vehicles to move for shocks and stuff like that, so they don't. If you hit the brakes hard, they don't go flying in each other or touch. Because, believe it or not, I've actually had people's vehicles that, they would notice just where it rubbed or touched, or someone had a license plate that had bolts sticking out of it that would touch someone's bumper. I mean, you have to have spacing, things of that nature. Like I said, it's kind of hard. It's just like the schooling thing. It depends on what you're coming from to what you exactly want to get into.
So, what's interesting? I want to say two things. Whoop, I can't believe I didn't recommend you ask Trevor Lee, because Robert, like he just said, he came from a tow company. He worked for bought a car hauler, so you guys could definitely converse back and forth. Thank you, Robert, for mentioning that. And two, like you were saying, Don, you're talking about as you talk, you begin to see all the chess pieces. And you know what's interesting? My car hauling dispatcher program originated from actually teaching dispatchers, and I took notes while I was teaching. And that's how I realized the curriculum, which really took a long time. And I mean, I created that. So, I mean, if you were to work with a car hauler, you begin to identify and be able to put in order all of this minutia, because I mean, there's so much. Just in what you were talking about, just loading a car, all the little things that come into play.
Yeah. It is. It's a process, and even from the dispatching side, I mean, I'm pretty sure you can vouch for this. Even you don't really know all the variations that go into it.
No, I don't.
You know what fits, what doesn't fit, what's supposed to fit, what doesn't fit. I mean, if I had $1 for every time that something was a little bit different, and we had to make something work. I mean, I remember a time, I think you put a load together for me a long, long time ago, and the way it's set, if we just put them on the best way possible, we rotated this load 3 to 4 times, and we were still at 15 foot high. And I think we figured out taking air out of tires and putting them in certain ways, and there was so many variations to it. And then
Totally.
then you start to learn, well, hey, I can't take air out of tires that have nitrogen in them because I'm going to put nitrogen in them.
Oh my gosh, totally.
Yeah, or am I going to? I can't deliver this vehicle with air out of their tires. So you got to be able to look at it like, okay, this car's coming off first. So what I'll do is I'll get to a place where I can rotate my load. I'll put the air back in all the tires. No one will know anything different. I mean, I know it sounds a little shady, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do to come up with 4 extra inches.
And
you can't go down the road at 14.6.
That's the thing. It does. Me and you talking, it does sound a little shady. But this business is so hard that you have to, you got to figure it out at some point. That's why it's so frustrating when I get told, all right, well, you got to be there at 2 because the hair appointment's at 2:30. Are you serious? My driver's trying to figure out how to make this thing fit. And you're worried about your hair?
Yeah, it is. It's a big puzzle. That's one thing about car hauling compared to every other freight out there. I mean, you put in so many skids, you put in so much weight, you put in so much height. These guys that do flatbed or van hauling, things of that nature, they know how many skids are going to fit, what's going to go in there, the size of the skid, the weight, things of that nature. But that's the cars, they don't. They don't do that.
And you know what?
You don't know how much fuel's in that car. If I have 6 cars on my trailer and they are plumb full of fuel, and say there's 30 gallons in there, well, it's 8 pounds a gallon. It's 240 extra pounds. So you got 6 cars. That's 1,440 extra pounds of weight that I have on this trailer now. I mean, there's things like that people don't think about, or that it has a hitch on it and it's locked. And I can't, there's no way to get the hitch off of it. So now I've got an extra 8 inches of hitch that I've got to stick somewhere. So that's got to go in the very back.
How about you?
But it don't come off first, So,
exactly. Yeah. And that's a whole nother bit. That's part of the puzzle. It is, now, in all fairness, I will say this because I spend a lot of time learning about freight now. And in freight, they could be wrong on the number of pallets. They can be way off on the weight. Those things do come up.
Right.
No, there is no easy trucking. Or how about if you're bumping the docks and you got to wait 4 hours for them to unload? In car hauling, that's called, going to an auto auction. But,
right.
we all have different struggles. But, yeah, putting together a training course is no small feat, that's why I'm happy to share my brainstorming. I don't feel like we're in any real danger of somebody just throwing up a shingle tomorrow. However, and I will say this, there has been some talk about, I think there's a couple folks that have put up shingles, and this is why they're getting the blowback they're getting, because just saying that you've got a new program for $1,000 or whatever you charge doesn't mean you can truly cover everything that needs to be covered. It sounds good.
You can't, and you couldn't guarantee it. You could have an entire class on loading and unloading. You could have an entire class on equipment operation. You could have a whole class on auctions and or dealerships or individuals. I feel like if there was something that really, because most people that have a little bit of common sense are out there driving these 75-foot long, 80,000-pound pieces of equipment down the road. They have common sense. They have. If not, that's a big death trap going 70 miles an hour. So you have to have common sense to say, okay, look, if I put this chain on this way and I put that chain on this way, or strap on or whatever, I have to pull them away from each other, or the vehicle's going to just move that direction. Or I can't put this car too close to that car, or I can't let this bounce. There's certain things, because these trailers, they flex and they bounce, and there's stuff going down the road. So people with common sense are going to be out there. But then all of a sudden you show up at a dealership, and you don't know who to talk to, you don't know where to go, you don't have no idea where the vehicle is, what's going to happen when I get here. And until you start repeating those things with customers and auctions and things of that nature, you can't gain efficiencies, and you know how that goes. The next thing you know, you have 4 cars to pick up, and you spent 2 hours at each place trying to figure out what the hell to do. You just lost 8 hours of it every day. You know.
That's right.
That could be its own class right there. I think you can almost pinpoint what to do at Odessa's and Mannheim's and dealerships and individuals and what to ask. And you can even, it just matters if you just offer suggestions. I mean, I can't tell you how many individuals I had come meet me a mile away or 2 miles away, and I've said, hey, look, you know, you come meet me because I can't get your vehicle in there. And just so you know, this is the greatest excuse to ever use for a customer. Is if they ask and you say, hey, can I get a truck in there? You make sure you tell them their vehicle's on top, whether the hell it is or not, whether it's on the very bottom. Because when they start thinking their vehicle's on top, the last thing they want to worry about is trees or anything of that nature having damage to their vehicle. So when they say, yeah, the truck's coming here all the time, I'm like, well, yours is on top. I just want to make sure nothing happens.
That's right.
And they're like, oh, well, I'll meet you up at Kroger or something. I mean, you know, you have to almost play the game.
Well, because you know what's on the other side of that coin is I as a dispatcher say, now, I'm looking at your residential area. It's hard for me to tell looking at the map. Do you have some low-hanging trees nearby or anything like that? And they're like, no, it's wide open. And you get there, and it's a forest.
Right.
Right? And it's like, really? That's not... Really? So it goes both ways. By the way, Robert says that Swift is hauling cars now. Did you know that?
Yeah, they've been hauling vans
and
stuff like that.
Oh, vans. Okay.
Yeah, they've got these...
Okay. So that's like a contract.
They got 2 car hauling trailers that they stack on top of each other so they can save the miles and stuff. I see them go up and down the road quite often. But,
interesting.
Yeah, I mean, there's a... It's, you know, like I said, I have my own company. I never worked for any of those other companies, but if I look back on it, it wouldn't have been a bad idea to either have a really good friend that did this business and help him out and learn from him, or to maybe work with somebody that's been in the business for a little bit, because what happens is the insurance is so ridiculously high, and
not know that.
So bad, it's just like credit. I mean, I feel like this business is like credit. If you go out and you try to learn with somebody else's vehicle, or you learn on the road and you have a problem, well, the next thing you know, now you've already got a strike against you. You don't have enough, you know, collateral to get out of it, and it could get bad quick. And I hate to see people go out and spend $75,000 on equipment, because when you sell it, it ain't going for 75. You bought it for 75, but it's going to go for 60.
And so,
I promise you that.
And what that? Well, that's right.
You'll never buy a truck and trailer for 75 and sell it for 75. It just don't happen like that. If you are, then you need to be in car sales, because I've never had anything ever go that direction. But if you spend a bunch of money on a truck and trailer, and then your authority, and then all this goes into it, and you get out there, and next thing you know, you're I don't know, God forbid, you're pulling with a gooseneck or something stupid, and it pops off,
right?
And you just lost your entire load of $100,000 worth of cars. Well, now your insurance goes up for 3 years, because once you get a loss, and it's a tumbling effect with that, So
well, that's why
it's a hell of a risk.
And that's why I show those car haulers tipped over every week, because it's an insane risk. And what's interesting is, I mean, I really believe, and I have nothing at stake here. I don't have a car hauler boot camp. I do consultations in a general sense, but it seems like, talking to you, it's easy to see that if there was a program that made sense, it was encapsulated and scheduled, it would behoove anybody looking to dump $75,000 minimum into a new business to take that training course.
Right.
Even if it was $2,000.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
anything. I mean, it's a risk out there. And then what happens is that, in our business, I can find 50 lawyers right now that will represent someone that had something happen to them by a commercial company, but I can't find anyone to represent the commercial company ever. It just don't happen.
Mike,
not lawyers. There's a whole phone book
of
people that are coming for your $1 million or your $750,000 liability because you didn't strap something down right, you didn't secure a piece of plastic right, hubcap, lug nut, hell, I don't know, you hit your brakes too fast. I mean, they come for you because you have a large amount of money. Well, that's just what you're insured for. The rest of it is if your house is paid for or your cars are paid for, they come for everything. And you can't find a lawyer to represent the trucking company because, I mean, I had video on that one accident that time, and they said, oh, okay, well, the video don't lie. You're good to go. That was all they said. There was nothing that went my... That was a win in my book, you know.
That is a win.
So it's a risk. It is.
Well, Mike is in the live chat saying that he will teach a boot camp, come to Baltimore, and I say, Mike, that's a great idea. Why don't you, keep going with that idea, see if you can make that a reality, because I think these boot camps could be everywhere.
I mean,
I really do.
You get the people that want to put out the equipment to train, or, I mean, as far as that goes, that guy Mike, if he wanted to say, look, I'll train you, you bring your equipment. That might be the best bet.
Exactly. I'll train you on your equipment. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
I mean, now that I think about it, that would be the best way to do it.
That would be.
You bring your truck, you bring your trailer, you bring your license, make sure everything's legit and things of that nature, and then I will show you how to operate your equipment the best possible way, and I'll teach you everything that I know about the business for X amount of dollars.
I think that's a great idea, and he's in Baltimore. That's a good city to do that in. There's a lot going on up there.
Yeah.
So there you go, Mike. Bring your equipment and your money, and I'll train you on your gear. It's called Baltimore Car Hauling Boot Camp.
I need Mike to show me how to drive a truck around Baltimore. I can't do it. It's horrible.
I'm telling you. Yeah, you old pro.
Now the roads are set up for semi-trucks. But, that's probably a good idea. Now that we're brainstorming a little bit.
That's right.
Spitballing, that sounds like a great idea.
We're finally waking up in the world.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, I'll tell you what, Don, I got to move on. I'm so glad you came on the show. And it's so cool we got to do this because literally in June 2017, we began the conversation that led us to this point. Isn't that cool?
It is crazy, ain't it?
It's super cool.
We talked about a lot of other crazy stuff. If every one of our conversations led to something, you and I would be fishing out on the ocean right now, catching fish, drinking beer.
Well, let me tell you, I'm still looking forward. We're going to do that. I'm looking forward to that.
Come down in February.
You know what? That's right. We did talk about February. I don't know, but we need to talk about it. We definitely need to talk about that.
Yeah, you can take out and go out. We can go out and do some video stuff that we're doing down here.
I love that idea.
Get some ideas too.
That'd be awesome. Or let's just drink beer and we'll just talk about video. How about that? Hey.
Yeah, that's definitely included. So.
Let me ask you this. Hey, question for you before you go. Is there? Mike is saying, Don, get with Mike. Mike, get with Don. Don, is there any way for anybody to contact you if they wanted to ask you a question?
Yeah, just give him my email address if you want to. I'm not near the computer now.
Okay.
But just shoot me my email address.
So US 929 transport, right?
Yes. Yeah, US 929 transport at yahoo.com.
At yahoo.com. All right, so that's Don's email. US 929 transport at yahoo.com. Guys, Don was in my very first auto transport intel video. He continues to be a great friend of mine and an excellent resource. So. Don, thank you so much for coming on the show tonight.
No problem. All right,
take care, buddy. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, man. That's awesome. I do love what's happened. I might be the ringleader, but I am not the whole circus. Okay, so let's do this. You know what we're going to do? We are going to do a story. You guys want to hear a story? Let's see here. Let's go to... Get Don off the screen there. Let's do a story, guys. Who wants to hear a bedtime story about one of our favorite brokers? Okay, let's do this. Now, this is not a dirty tricks story. but it is a true story. And because it's true, and it's not my story, because it's true, it's going to be said. And I'm not the one that's going to say it. How about them apples? I'll drink some ELD Kool-Aid.
Hello?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, Jay, what's really going on right here?
Hey, Dave, how you doing, man?
Mildewing, man. I'm mildewing.
All right, dude, you're about to get your money's worth because you're about to tell a little story.
Oh, cool. I love telling stories.
I know. Well, it's you know what's interesting is when we finally get a chance at the microphone, you know, we gotta we gotta clear our throats, stand straight, and tell our story. So you know what,
Yeah.
man? What's going on, dude?
Oh, not a whole lot, man. Just resting after a long day of hauling cars. You know how it is.
I know you've had quite a day.
It's been fun.
And you know what's interesting is we're not even going to tell that other story about how you got a dispatch for 3 cars. You show up and they're not there, right?
Oh, yeah, that's with, can I say who that's with?
You sure you can?
That's Cars Arrive.
Oh, say it isn't so, Dave.
It isn't so, Dave.
And you know what? So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna play good cop, bad cop. I'll be the good cop. You be the bad cop. Okay?
All right.
So you just said that I booked 3 cars. I think I actually said it, but then you said it. I booked 3 cars, and yeah, I didn't call ahead because I had 3, which I booked over the weekend. I thought there's 3 of them. Certainly not going to show up and there's nothing there.
I did.
But that's what happened, right?
Yeah, so I get there and I told Dude I'm here to pick up 3 cars going to Nashville. And he said somebody got them this morning. I'm like, and I said, no, they couldn't have. They were dispatched to me.
Like, come on, really? So, all right. So, I mean, this happens. But again, on the roundabout, haven't you got an email from a different broker saying, you know, if you cancel or this or that, you're going to be downgraded as a carrier?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's
so
what
it's
happened.
okay for the broker. It's okay for the broker to make a silly mistake, but not for you.
That's right.
Oh, isn't that nice?
That's very nice.
By the way,
That's one of the downfalls of just being a driver, you know.
well, you know, I mean, because we don't have any power. I mean, you know, we don't have any power. We don't get the money. Okay.
No, nothing.
All right.
Just money.
And how? By the way, how's that broker's app? How's their app? Their app any good?
Yeah. I mean, it works fine. I've never had any flaws with it, other than one time I picked up a Jeep in Illinois,
Oh.
and you know you got to use the app. It's mandatory to get paid.
Okay, it's mandatory to use the app. Okay, well that's okay, right? What could go wrong?
Well, I don't know. I picked up this Jeep in Illinois and brought it to Bowling Green, Kentucky, and I checked it in with the app, and I checked it out with the app and got my signatures and come home. And 2 months later, I called wanting to know where my money's at, and I guess the app something happened where they couldn't get the information. I don't know exactly what happened, but I said, well, what about my money? She said, well, you can't get paid until we get paperwork. I said, well, I ain't got no paperwork. I use the app like you told me to. And she says, well, you can't get paid until we get paperwork. I said, well, the car is there, right? I mean, they hadn't called you looking for their car, have they? She said, oh, no, I see it was delivered on the 21st. I said, well, okay. I said, no, the 22nd. Anyway, of August. I said, well, okay, well, it's there, so you can give me my money. She said, no, we can't give you money until we get the paperwork. I said, well, I ain't got no paperwork. She said, well, you need to go back up there and get somebody to sign your paperwork, and we'll get you paid. So that's about where we're at. So then I telling you the story, and you contacted the dealership, and I guess was able to get the paperwork signed, right?
Well, that's what's funny. So you go. Well, I was here we go. Now here's the good cop. I can't remember which cop I am, but I was saying that they were willing to tell you, oh yeah, no, they got the car. You use the app like we said, but we're not going to pay you. And I said, well, if they got, you know, everybody's sitting around eating bear claws, can't somebody call the dealership and just get that signature that they need to balance their books or whatever? Nah, that'd be crazy. So I did that. I called them today. You told me the story today. I didn't know this. So I called the dealership because I fight for car haulers, right? I'm trying to help. That's my job as a dispatcher, and frankly, I want things to go well, right? It's just, we're built like that. I don't know what's wrong with us. But I called the dealership, and I got a guy on the phone, and yeah, I had to work it a little, talk to the receptionist and say the right things, and, chase the cheese through the maze. But I got to a guy on the phone, and he said, and he was nice, and he said, well, what do you need? What can I do? And I saved the BOL off of the Cars Arrive site. I saved it as a PDF. I emailed it to him, and he is going to print out the email, sign it, and then either scan it and email it back to Transportation AP Faxes at Open Lane or whatever it is, or they were just going to straight up fax it, but they were going to basically put a signature on a blank BOL because they have the car. They know it's there. They're good to go. This is like old news. So why can't the Bear Claw managers do it? I have no idea.
Well, he's got sticky fingers.
I can't get to the mouse because I got the Bear Claw all over me.
Yeah.
I mean, I know, listen, and I realize it's not fair that I'm saying all this, but what's the story? You got a whole giant company. I'm just one little guy, and I got it done.
Well, what I don't understand is Cars Arrive knows they dispatched it to me, and they know the car was picked up, and they know the car was delivered. So why is the paperwork a problem? I mean, you know it's there. There's been no claims. That was 2 months ago. Send me my money.
I don't get it.
What's the paperwork? Just scribble something on a piece of paper and send me my damn check. I don't understand. Why do you need that paperwork?
I mean, and the reason we have you on tonight to tell this brief story is not only do we need a, kind of a humor commercial break from all that intense thinking about loading and spacing, but this is just one stupid little problem that's holding you back from money. And we know if you're a new business, you cannot have these problems.
No, and it's hard to take care of these problems while you're working, too. I mean,
you can't.
A month will go by before you know it.
Oh, that car was delivered a month and a half ago.
Second. Yeah.
And I just
they
found
know it was delivered. That's what I don't understand is they know it was delivered, but you can't pay me without the paperwork. I said, well, I don't use paperwork. I use the BOL. It's mandatory. She says, well, it never shows that it was delivered. I said, well, you know it's there. Or they would be calling you climbing up in your biscuit or your Bear Claw or whatever it is you're holding at the time. But I told her, I said, well, okay, well, from now on, I'll just use the paperwork. She says, no, you got to use the app. I said, well, so I need to use the paperwork and the app. She said, well, I don't know what to tell you, but we can't tell you without the paperwork. So I said, all right, good to hell with it.
You know what's so funny is one of my other drivers today, we were trying to get a car. We were trying to get a truck. Here, I'll take them off screen now. And glad we got that story out of the way. We were trying to get a truck yesterday, and his insurance company is so not... How many insurance companies out there just don't get it? You got to get that cert, and you got to get it now, or you're going to miss the load. None of the negotiation and all that other high-fiving is out the window if we can't get a stinking cert in the next 10 minutes. Right? So, lo and behold, insurance company just doesn't get it. I guess they've done their one cert for the day, gone home, bear claws and all, and then this morning finally get somebody else on the phone, and they're sending out so many certs in such a frenzy that the company we're trying to get the car from got every cert we requested except the one they needed. Now, mind you, I'm talking about certs. When they finally get the right cert, this broker that claims to also have their own technology is slamming the driver with paperwork. And he said, I don't even know how to manage all this paperwork. I literally just want to go pick up this truck. And the last message I get was that he had gotten a hotel room to like manage the paperwork. I don't know. This is how bad it's gotten.
It shouldn't be that bad. The insurance is generally pretty easy.
What? Yeah, you know what? You just said easy peasy. Certificates of insurance make me crazy, and that has nothing to do with hauling
Mine give
cars.
you a problem one time, right?
Yeah,
No problem since then, have you?
yeah. No, I haven't. No, not since you put a red mark on the office.
Yeah, well, I get a different insurance company than
Yeah,
anybody to take my money.
I'm telling you. Well, and that's. But you know what? I mean, it seems like we're all beholden to something. But listen, Dave, I was a great story. I'm glad we got to tell it. And the joke is, it literally has almost nothing to do with actually hauling cars.
No, but you ain't gonna get paid without it.
And without that money, there's no gas in the tank, and now they wonder why you're sitting on the side of the road trying to fill out another broker packet.
Yeah, downgrading your status because you're late.
Yeah, we just can't do
Sorry,
it.
brother.
Okay, man. Thanks for your time, dude.
Yes, sir.
All right, you take care. I'll talk to you soon.
Yes, sir.
All right, peace. Okay, so now, whew, I knew this was going to be a long show. And I see, man, there's a lot going on in the live chat. Andy, welcome to the show, man. I'm glad you tuned in. You know, if you subscribe to the YouTube channel, you will get a 30-minute reminder. I mean, that may or may not help you. This is not a beat down. I'm just saying, you know, if you subscribe to the channel, you get the 30-minute reminder. But, you know, I don't think it's like an alarm or anything. You just, you know, sweet little reminder. And then you got the mix. Grant likes the mix. We need our money to keep moving. Man, we do need, I mean, you guys need your money. That is like 101. Without money, there is no gas. And without gas, there is no hauling at all. Let's see here. Okay, so what we're going to do is it's 9:30. I knew it would be late. Oh, man, I'm already late. All right, let's call Serge. It's all right. It's okay. We got a big show. I still got a couple other people to talk to. So, you know, ramp up your coffee, get your second bear claw, make yourself comfortable. We got a lot of show to go. I hope. Or we'll move to the next guest. Boom, boom, boom. Or we'll get the repo.
Well, hello there.
Hey, man, welcome to Auto Transport Intel.
How are you?
Can you hear me okay, Serge?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you well. All right, so dude, you're here, you're live. We are an hour and a half into the show, so we're all pumped up and like, you know, foaming, but you just joined us. So we'll give you a minute to like, you know, get in the groove. And are you drinking coffee or anything, or what are you at the ocean? Snowboarding?
I'm at a rest area.
You're at a rest area. Where are you?
At this Florida rest area.
Now, and by the way, are you on your headset or whatever when I talked to you yesterday?
Yes.
Okay.
Same thing.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. That sounds pretty good. I think I'm coming through louder than you are.
Oh. Okay.
Which is it's easy because I'm loud. So.
Yeah.
So, Serge, this was your idea. This was your, right? You said car hauler boot camp. Why did you say that?
Because I took a little plumbing course for a weekend once when I was like in my teens and learned how to do the basics of plumbing. But there's no such thing for like car hauling, and there should be. You know what I mean?
What?
So, you know, if you could like try out a car hauler, you know, load your car on the top rack of a car hauler. It's just something you like to do. That's it.
So, what we're talking about here is you took a plumbing course, which is basically anybody could take a trade school course, right? You could learn how to weld, you could learn, any physical skill would be like a trade school learning program. And in this case, you took a plumbing course and realized, even as, from starting from ground zero, how much did you know about plumbing at the time?
I didn't know any. I didn't know how to solder my first, weld or joint, right? And yeah, my mom was like, "You're going on this mini camp for $300 this weekend. You'll learn how to do plumbing and get a little certificate, and that's it." And I just learned the basics of it, and there were a bunch of guys there, and I thought, I think I would have this for car hauling. But we don't, everyone kind of learns from the internet, I guess, these days for car hauling, right? Or you learn from someone else that's doing car hauling, with them on a couple trips.
What's funny is, so Keith says, just watch all of Auto Intel, learn all you need to know. Bam! You're a car hauler.
Yeah, that's probably the best way so far, right?
I mean, Paul says, sounds legit, which is actually one of my new favorite phrases. It seems like, and this is what Don and I were talking about. I don't know if you were able to tune into the show earlier, but Don and I talked about, and Grant said it perfect. Here we go. There's a lot to it. That's what Don and I were talking about. There is so much to learning car hauling. I mean, okay, let's go to, I jotted down some notes earlier today. Because I got to thinking about it a lot when we were talking yesterday. I mean, first you need to just go through, why do you want to be a car hauler? Why do you want to be a car hauler? Tell me why you want to be a car hauler. Something like that. And then once you get through, I mean, you're convinced you really want to be a car hauler. Okay, take it easy. You want to be a car hauler. Then we get into orientation, terminology, equipment, the expenses and cost of car hauling. What's a bill of lading? Are there steps, as I've lined out, the 20 steps to car hauling? And then looking at the FMCSA documents. That's all just orientation. You could spend a whole day of just blowing your mind on information. Like when you started your plumbing course. This is an elbow. This is a straight pipe. This is, I don't know. I don't know anything about plumbing. That's obvious. But you got to get oriented to what you're about to really get into, which is learning. Because you know what Don and I didn't even talk about? We didn't talk about types of power units, truck versus semi, types of trailers, wedge versus high mount. I guess we touched upon it. But then from there, you could get into pins and plates and hydraulics, the minutia about what it means to either have a CDL or not have a CDL, the safety. You could lose a whole day before you're even ready to understand what it takes to do a proper pre-trip.
Yep.
I mean, yeah.
And we could have a couple cars, like maybe some exotic.
See,
and someone could try to load that, to put a bunch of tape on the bottom of the front bumper and see who would scratch it or not.
Well, that's the thing is, so as we were talking about, I'm the dispatching professor, and I don't have to be the only one. I mean, a real university has a large staff, okay? So I'm a dispatch professor. You're an enclosed professor, right? You could head the enclosed teaching department. How many cars have you hauled in an enclosed trailer, and how many different types of enclosed trailers have you used?
Well, this year, I was counting, like in the last year, I think I haul about like 30 cars a month. There's like 32 cars in a month. So,
Wow,
can you believe it? Like,
that's a lot.
over 300 in a year. It's like crazy, you know. I offloaded like 6 cars today and loaded up 2. So it was crazy.
Well, you know what? Miguel just said something. He had trouble starting a Tesla. I know a driver that had trouble starting a Tesla. And you...
Yeah, and you're like, or like a 3 on the tree, right?
3 on the tree.
Yeah, like, you know, a lot of these times, the first time I learned, you know, about like 3 on the tree and stuff, I like asked the guy, hey, this is the first one like this that I'm hauling. Will you explain to me how to run it? I was a little bit embarrassed, you know, but 3 on the tree is probably, you know, not that common, but still, you got to know how to do it.
Well, yeah, and I mean, that's another thing. Not only are you an enclosed trailer professor, but I've said this, you're like a luxury car whisperer. There's something about you. You climb in any luxury car and you're like, you know, you're totally at home. I get in there, I'd be like, you know, I'd be freaking out.
Like that girl on the internet, the blonde supercar spotter.
I don't know that one.
Have you seen that girl? This is
No.
a blonde chick on the internet that's always like starting up Paganis, Hondas, and stuff like that.
Sounds cool.
Anyways,
There's a lot of luxury car video stuff that I actually haven't seen because it's kind of one of those genres that you can get lost in different areas. I've actually spent a lot of time in freight videos and whatnot, but luxury, yeah, I need to check that out.
yeah, it's fun stuff.
Yeah,
Fun
like,
cars.
well, and like we were talking about Super Speeders Rob. I mean, he is high-end luxury race car. His channel's huge.
Yep.
But
And it's growing. You know, that's kind of why I like enclosed, because I know the industry for exotic cars, luxury cars, is growing, and some say that we're moving toward a future where less people need cars for like their commutes because they're using like other ways to travel, and like cars are like going to be a luxury type of thing, like an excess type of thing in the future. So yeah. I mean, I don't think cars are going away, but
no, but it's interesting to talk about the future. But I agree with you, is that as with the erosion of the middle class, it'll be more of, you know,
yes,
right, which really sucks. But like you'll have your basic models, and then you'll have your high-end insanity models.
yes.
Yeah. Which is, I think, Jay Leno's Garage is the beginning. Jay Leno's Garage will seem like an old cartoon compared to what it really gets like in the future.
Yep. That's what I'm talking about.
I mean, there will be like underground bunkers where you can live through a nuclear winter and hang out with your cars. While the rest of the population is hunting for the last bean. But anyways, I digress. Yeah. Okay, let's go. Let's take it easy.
So
yeah. Okay. Woo.
Car hauling boot camp.
Car hauling boot camp. So right, the point is that even if there's 1 boot camp, 10 boot camps, whatever the number is, but we know nationally advertised, there are probably on one hand less than 5 car hauling boot camps in the United States. I mean,
That's right.
that an independent car hauler can go to.
And car hauling's not for everyone, just like plumbing wasn't for me.
And that's
I was like, thanks, Mom,
that's
for
and
showing me how to do plumbing.
thanks, Mom.
I'll just keep that in the back of my mind, just in case.
But that's
I like to do it, but I don't like to do plumbing.
and that's why. Why do you think you want to be a car hauler? Why do you think you want to be a car hauler? I think of this as kind of like, it'd be kind of like, having a Stanley Kubrick film marathon where there's like a little bit of torture and some seriousness and maybe, it's like when you go to basic training, the first thing they do is yell at you. I think car hauling boot camp needs to have some of that. Where maybe like a broker's yelling at you and a customer is demand, yell. Why do you want to be a car hauler? Like, that would be pretty cool.
No, that's an interesting point. Maybe we could have like scenarios where you get your equipment like failing, where you got to change your hydraulic hose or something like that, and you got calls coming in, you're running late, customers don't want to pay because you're running late or something like that.
Well, that's what it's really, because that's what it's really like. Where are you? Where are you? Why do you want this?
Like a personal development type of thing, almost. Like, what are you going to do when you're put under pressure? Are you going to screw up? Are you going to
Exactly.
yell back? Are you going to...
So what they do, they put you in the bubble at the top of the ramp, and they hand you a cell phone. And if you don't handle it, they dump you in the pool, like on the basic training. In fact, they dump you in the pool anyways. They dump you in the pool while you're on the phone trying to navigate a BOL.
Yep.
Have you seen the key? Yeah. So,
yeah, I'm glad I'm not the only guy that thinks we need to teach people.
You're not alone. Yeah, no, that's what's great. If you're watching the live chat right now, I mean, the live chat is with you, man.
Yes.
Yes.
So yeah.
So
we will. We can start from like a tow truck or like a one-car trailer. Like teenagers can come and do this.
What you know? What?
Like,
what's interesting is Don was saying, here's a really good idea. This would be, you could have different versions, but in one version of the boot camp, new car hauler shows up with their truck and trailer and gets schooled on how to use their particular equipment.
Exactly, and they kind of like a marketing thing too. They kind of promote their equipment, and you could have like first opportunity to buy it if that's what you want.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. No, well, that's the thing is, because that's what's interesting, and that's where, and I haven't even gotten to part 2 of the business, but I get asked. Well, I was talking to Ty. Ty is someone that I talk with more and more, and I'll have him on the show. We'll do a show where I have Ty on the show. But we're talking about, I had a car hauler. I've had several car haulers ask me this. New car hauling businesses ask me, what kind of truck should I get? I want to get into car hauling. What kind of truck should I get? And really, what's interesting about that question is you've just leaped through a whole week of other considerations. However, I understand the question. I do. It's just that that's actually not the first question.
Yeah, the first question is just get started. Like, set up a little business plan and that's what I think.
But, well,
just start.
It's actually, what it really begs is, somebody to really think about what is the first question, which I come back to. Why do you want to be a car hauler? But it's very interesting. It is very interesting, which I think
car haulers are all our entrepreneurs.
Well,
They want to have their own business.
that's right. The answer is entrepreneur. Did I spell that right? Oh yeah, it's EUR. Which I think is a French word meaning broke. Okay, that's not funny.
Broke?
Yeah. But we are entrepreneurs, and that's why we want to we all want to own our own businesses. That's why I talked about, trucking is the American dream. It is. We want to own our own businesses. We want to build a legacy that we can pass on to our children. We want to be, we want to run a business, build a business, own a business, be a business, and we want to.
Yeah, trucking and car hauling is something a lot of people do to finance one of their businesses. They do it for a few years to save up, so they could go back into construction or something, buy tools or whatever they need, or invest in real estate. So it's like a stepping stone for some people. You know what I mean? Like this is like their way to get to their dream. If this isn't it.
Exactly. Well, and that's the thing is that, and that's actually part of the erosion of the middle class that we're talking about, which is why I think it's important. And that's not a political statement. It is just a observation of we've chosen capitalism, and the downside of capitalism is that you're going to erode the middle class. It's just part of how it works because it's a free market. And we now have a global market. And in a global market, you either produce it for a penny and sell it for $10, or you work for the guy that does.
Yes.
Wow.
I'm just looking at the
I feel
comments.
terrible after saying that.
I'm looking at the comments here in the chat here.
Mm-hmm.
As we're talking about a truck, right? What kind of truck to start with? In my experience, when I first started off, I bought a Dodge Ram for $5,000. The next Dodge Ram I bought, somehow I bought it for $5,000 again. And the third Dodge Ram I bought was also $5,000. It was kind of like a thing for me where you could always get a decent diesel running truck for $5,000. Yeah, they were from like 150 to 180,000 miles on the odometer on the bottom. So, yeah, you could always buy and sell a diesel truck for $5,000. That's about what a good running diesel truck is, right? A pickup.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the comments here. So that's what I have to input from that. $5,000 for a diesel truck, and just have a couple thousand ready for maintaining it or changing some things that you want on it.
Hey, by the way, there we go, Sean. Sean at Ocean Roads just sent me a picture, so I just put it on the show, proving that we're live. So if you've got something to send me, autotransportintel@gmail.com. By the way, if you haven't hit the like button yet, please do so. And I like when you're talking about trucks because, see, that's why I brought Ty in. The thing is, in the beginning, dramatic pause. In the beginning, the questions really are about power units and trailers. That is kind of the new car hauler beginning question. And it gets, right, I mean, when you talk about types of engines, etc., it gets pretty heavy into the trucker minutia. I mean, you really got to know your stuff. And frankly, I don't know. I can't speak about minutia of trucks like that. It's just not my wheelhouse. That's actually what helps, I think, in the Car Hauler Institute to have different departments and professors, because I don't think any one person can actually cover the real gamut of all the topics that go into this. Here, I'll tell you what. Let's go into part 1 is labor, okay? Part 2 is business. I mean, the documents, the rates.
The documents, the office.
Oh my God. It's gigantic, because this is the broker's domain. And if you don't understand what the broker's thinking, you are not going to make the money that you think you're going to make coming into this. Because when it comes to the office, this is the broker's domain. And then the load boards, the negotiations, just searching loads, calling loads, booking loads, verifying loads, dealing with the errors. It's crazy. It's crazy. And actually, that's why I brought Dave on. Did you hear Dave's story about Cars Arrive? Did you hear that?
No, I didn't.
So he delivered a car, and I'm not trying to pick on Cars Arrive, but it is a true Cars Arrive story. Wow, it sounds like a bedtime book. True Cars Arrive story. It's like a Hallmark film. So anyways, he delivered a car in August. It's a fact. But they're not paying him because he doesn't have a paper with a signature on it, but he used the app like they said to.
Oh.
So what did he do wrong? He still doesn't know what he did wrong, but they are saying, we don't have your signature and we're not going to pay you.
Yep.
That's a nice quandary. Now, I like Cars Arrive, but I don't understand why there's a period at the end of that sentence. So I made some phone calls today. I talked to the location. I sent them the BOL, and they're going to put their chicken scratches on the papyrus and get it over to the department so they can jam it in a drawer and get the man paid.
Yeah, what up, Davison says, asked me, how long did it take me to find a U-joint in Yonkers, and did I end up having to go to the Bronx to find it? Boy, was that a story. I guess, should I tell it now? I guess.
Yeah, why not? Do it, man.
So my dispatcher is like, hey, on your way out of the Northeast, do you want to pick up a car in Yonkers and you'll have all 8? I said, sure, no problem. So I pull up to get the 68 Impala, and there's like nowhere to pull over. I went down this street past this dealership 3 times. And, wait, the first time, I went there to pick it up twice. The first time, my hydraulic line broke. And I couldn't lift the top rack up to make room for this car on the bottom. So I had to leave with oil sprayed all over the road there on Broadway, South Broadway in Yonkers. So I came back the next day after I fixed the hydraulic line, and I went on the oncoming side. There were 2 open spots off the street and a fire hydrant. That's kind of where I stuck the front end of my truck. The rest of it's kind of like stuck out in the street. And I thought, I'm only blocking the fire hydrant for a little bit, so load the car really quick and go. But after I put it in gear in reverse to back out of there a little bit, my transmission just goes boom. After I let go of the clutch, I thought, oh my goodness, did I knock out my PTO? Did I leave it on or something and break that? Did I break the clutch? Is my input shaft still there? What's going on? And I go outside and my drive shaft's on the ground.
Oh my God.
With 2 broken bolts from the U-joint mounts stuck broken in the yoke on the differential. So here I am.
Oh my God.
Hands down, and not literally, but here I am blocking the fire hydrant. That's like the main thing I'm worried about. And all these people walking by, they're all like, do you got movie cars inside? Do you got movie cars inside? I guess there was a movie from a week before. and everyone's all excited about seeing this old car hauler. So Saturday afternoon, I'm scrambling. I called my boss, said, "Hey, take some parts off of a truck in the yard and send them this way." And my boss is like, "Just make a few phone calls. I'm busy going to church. I'll talk to you later." He doesn't care. So, so I called a big rig wrecker, and it took 30 hours for the big rig wrecker to show up. And yeah, if you would have came out, that would have been cool. I guess people, what up, Doc, says he's nearby. So, but yeah, big rig wrecker shows up. He looks at my rig and looks how loaded I am and says, "Hell no, I'm not towing you through all these small streets and the low bridges that we already barely fit under." So he's like, "Give me $150 for showing up, and I'll see you later." And so, yeah, so I stayed there Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, Monday morning is when we were able to get parts. I rolled forward. Some of the spots had opened up in front of me, and I just rolled forward. It was kind of downhill, so I wasn't blocking the fire hydrant the whole weekend. And so Monday afternoon is when I was supposed to be in Florida delivering my first car, but I was just leaving Yonkers.
That's crazy, man.
With it was about $2,000. It was $1,800 for a service truck guy.
Wow.
To rebuild my drive shaft and send me on my way.
And can you imagine being a new business and running into that kind of, well, and you do. I mean, that's what sudden expensive maintenance looks like. That's a perfect example, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just like pull out $2,000 whenever you can.
You know,
now.
roll them off the money clip, right? Right, but do you have that fat wad of cash in your pocket? Probably not. Maybe. But you did at the time. You were able to pay for that.
Yeah, there was a bank nearby.
There was a bank, right? You had to go to a bank.
Yeah, because he said he'll charge me like more for a credit card.
So Whoop was 10 minutes away from where you were. If he had had time, he would have come out and hang out with you. There you are.
Yeah, we should have. Sunday night I realized, hey, the truck's been safe this long. I'm just gonna go walk around New York. So I went to Times Square. I went everywhere. I walked for like 8 miles. See, I definitely got some exercise. I seen Trump Tower. It was all blocked off by police because the president was in town. So that was kind of interesting.
I want to address. I've been reading the live chat, and I want to say this to Nadia. She's talking about the broker store I was talking about. My problem with that story, and again, I don't have a problem with that broker, but in this situation, I don't understand why they're telling him they're not going to pay him, but they're not helping solve the problem. Just help the man. Just make a phone call. Is it delivered? Yes. Can we get a signature? Yes. Now we can pay the man? Yes. That did not happen. It took me getting on the phone because he's driving. He doesn't. Drivers don't always have time to do the minutia that people. That's one of the problems. People sitting at desks, like you and I'm sitting at a desk right now. File cabinets, faxes, dartboards, beer glasses, whatever. I got it here because I'm at a desk. But a driver, his desk is his dashboard. And we wonder why we have such distracted drivers. Well, is it because they're busy chasing down signatures while they're trying to work under the gun of an ELD calculator shock Fitbit device? Maybe. All right, I need some. See, that's why I have ELD Kool-Aid, ladies and gentlemen, because I get freaking upset.
You know, I'm not saying to do this. I'm not saying that I've done this, but I have done it. And sometimes you got to do what you got to do, and just take a blank bill of lading, fill it out, and put a scratch on the signature, and send it in and say, I found the bill of lading here.
Well, how dare you say that? I've never done that. How dare you?
Yeah. Yeah, so just don't tell the girls in my office.
Yeah, no, I've never. I have, you know, Serge, I have never heard of such a terrible thing.
I mean, it was like some daily driver, Nissan Sentra or something. Like,
Right, it's not even the right VIN number. Just whatever. Just jam it in the fax machine and hit send. So,
like, I found it. I found the bill of lading.
all right. So here's what we're gonna do, Serge.
That's what we're gonna call. We should code name call that process. Call it. I found it. Found the bill of lading.
Right. Code name found the bill of lading. So Serge, what's our next step? What do we do? I mean, we're right now we're brainstorming. We're in stage 1, brainstorming. Are we gonna get to stage 2?
Yeah, stage 2 is ask the internet for help.
Ask the internet for help.
No, I don't know. That's what we're doing.
I like that.
Help as in like ideas.
That's right.
And we need a place to do this.
Okay.
Maybe several places around the country, right?
Yes, but
Maybe we could have like something up in the Midwest where we could do car hauling boot camp, ice road style.
yeah.
We could have like
Okay.
do it in the cold.
Okay, but you just reminded me. Where in Florida? We're taking a poll. If you're still with us, where in Florida should Serge's boot camp be? Tampa, Orlando, Jacksonville, and then we're gonna say, what should it be near? Should it be near
A beach or a swimming pool?
a beach? Well, no, you nut. Beach, or I'm going to say beach, airport, or auction. Okay? Let's get some votes if we can. I mean, I know. I'm asking a lot. Or, you know, or whatever. Hey, Jay just sent you a photo of why we need car hauling school. I actually passed this guy in Missouri. Oh, Dave Archer says Jacksonville. Thank you, Dave. Thank you for participating. That's 1 for Jacksonville. That's cool. We're going to put...
Jacksonville is we're
gonna put
area
Archer.
that's good location.
Ocean Roads Transport has the franchise on the Florida boot camp. So you got some competition. Ooh, Keenan, I knew there was going to be a Miami. We got Miami. So Keenan says Miami. Whoop says Jacksonville. Oh, that's 2 for Jacksonville. I knew Jacksonville was going to be a contender. I told you that yesterday. Orlando. Okay, we got Paul Roberts. We got Max on Orlando. Yeah. Oh, Shaggy says Orlando. Cool. Shaggy's my next guest, by the way. So we got Shaggy says Orlando. Shaggy. All right. That's pretty good. Man, listen, look at this. Nobody said Tampa, Serge.
Man, I was hoping someone was going to pick Key Largo.
Key Largo. Oh, brother. You're thinking of something. That's the after party, right?
Yeah.
And I know Sean knows what we're talking about. Because Sean hangs out in Key Largo. That's
we should cram really hard for 8 hours during the day, and then in the evening just go do something fun.
Okay, so now that we got kind of a city, beach, airport, or auction, what should it be near? Beach, airport, or auction? O-Town. Is that it? I don't know. I'm not a Florida native. Is O-Town Orlando? I'm guessing, right? Somebody throw me a bone because I don't spend enough time in Florida. Clearly. Now, listen, Robert, you could be part of the Kansas City chapter. Oh, Alan Milan, he wants Michigan. Mike says Jacksonville due to ports nearby. See, I agree with that. Okay, that's 3. We got 3 for Orlando, 3 for Jacksonville. Oh, whoops. Oh, and they got a way station. Oh, man, Jacksonville, that's a pretty good idea. So you got a port and scales.
Man, that'll teach you a lot of stuff.
That's pretty awesome. Hotanas,
I don't know,
Orlando.
you could just skip the whole car hauling boot camp and drive a wedge pickup truck to a way station right away. There you go. There's half the boot camp.
You know what's interesting? Auto Hauler University was halfway between Orlando and Jacksonville. Isn't that interesting? I think they had the right location. In fact, it was near a body of water. Check this out. I'm going to try and zoom in on where because I looked at the map, and I'm going to try and zoom in here. Yeah, here's this body of water south of Jacksonville. Okay, so like, Palatka, which is like, east of Ocala, right? There you go. Halfway between Jacksonville and Orlando is Palatka. I hope I'm saying that close to correct. Crescent City. See, and it's not that far from the beach either. There you go, man. Dude, I'll bet there's some nice real estate. So look at Lake George in Florida, near the Ocala National Forest. And you could cruise on up to Jacksonville. That way you could do a 30-mile run up to Jacksonville, stretch your legs, go to the scales. That sounds pretty good, man. Because what's the deal? So you're looking to do some real estate investment or something, right? Right.
Yeah.
And then you can pop down to Orlando. Oh, and go to Cape Canaveral and celebrate. I cut you off.
Yeah, go to Cape Canaveral and drink hydraulic fluid. Do the initiation.
So even like, what about Sanford or Deltona or I'm telling that's so we got nobody's in favor of Tampa. Even Lakeland didn't come up, which I think there's an auto auction in Lakeland.
Yeah, looks like Orlando's winning in the comments.
Yeah, Orlando. Well, and if you put them together, Orlando, Jacksonville, I would look between those two. There you go. You got all kinds of proving grounds, right? This is pretty cool. I think we're getting a lot of good feedback here, bro. So
Trevor says,
one-day
if you want to
seminar.
be a car hauler, first day seminar for $199.99. If you still want to be a car hauler, see our boot camp recruiters in the back of the room.
I think
Yep.
day one is kind of like Silkwood. You know, it's all just sirens and scrub downs.
It's all just like it. Yeah, it's showing you if,
Sirens and scrub
car hauling,
downs.
It's for you.
That is awesome, man. I love that series. Have you seen that on Netflix, Sirens and Scrub Downs?
No. I don't even have Netflix.
It's on late. Have you seen Sirens and Scrub Downs too? Okay. All right.
No.
Okay. So right now somebody's like Googling Sirens and Scrub Downs. Or not.
Yeah, that's what I'm Yeah, so what kind of equipment should we have out there?
Well,
Hauling camp?
that's why I like you could have BYOE, bring your own equipment. That's one program, and then you have we call him a maggot. Why do you want to be a car hauler, you maggot? That's fantastic. Then you could have some standard equipment. I think you need to have a wedge on site, maybe a Easy 4 or a Mini 5. Have a high mount, have a stinger. That's why you've got to have working car haulers as part of this, so that right. And in fact, what you do is we get a trailer manufacturer or two involved, and they bring out their equipment. So, there's kind of a sales deal going on. and also, right, and maybe a RAM dealer or a finance company.
Yep.
Yeah. This actually sounds pretty good.
And at the end, we could have someone drive a car off the top rack without having ramps pulled out.
Right. Well,
Just see what happens.
yeah, exactly.
You have to pull the ramps out and you drive a car off the ramp.
Yeah, I like that. You know, you have your Pinewood Derby moments.
Yeah, you're just like, let's take that cool part special and roll it off the top rack.
I think that's how you start. That's in day one.
That's how we start. This is not what you do.
You maggot. Dominic said a good one. So he just said you can't buy equipment before you understand weight distribution, and he also had a good comment earlier. He was talking about just understanding the equipment that you're getting into. There's a lot of that's what I think day one is full of. I mean, you know, we joke around. I think, but you have some really tough philosophical questions, and then once you've cracked the egg, then you begin to actually, breathe and let's get some deep information. One of the things I ask in a consultation is, one of my first questions, do you have a mechanical background? Because if you've been white collar all your life, I mean, we can keep going if you want to, but are you sure? I just think that you need to have that. Yeah, my dad was a race car driver. I was always, taking everything apart in the garage. Those are the signs I'm looking for. I worked on a farm, right? I was always fixing the farm equipment, or that's the kind of stuff that I'm looking for when I'm talking to somebody that's thinking about getting into car hauling. Because you're going to be somewhere where you can't throw enough money at a problem. You have to be able to get underneath the vehicle. Right?
Yes, Dominic says get DOT involved as well. Get the DOT out there teaching.
Oh, yeah, that's a great idea. Get the DOT. They'd be happy to go. That's where I like that Brent Hoover and the Indiana State, something like that, the Indiana Highway Patrol, I think, and Brent Hoover, they go on Facebook and talk. It's really neat when the DOT, an officer, you get to put a name and a face and get to hear answers to your questions. I love that idea, Dominic. That's a great idea. Yeah, get an insurance company, get a finance company, get a trailer manufacturer. Yeah, this is great stuff, man. Really great.
I wonder, how many days could this be? Would this be just a weekend?
No.
Could it be like an advanced course too, like a 5-day or 1 week?
I mean, I agree with you. You're going to have different variations. You're going to have to the weekend, the pressure cooker, or the 2-week. Let's go through the minutia. I mean, you're going to need different programs. I mean, this really does take, to set this up right, really does take a lot of thought.
Yeah, so sounds pretty cool.
It does sound cool.
You come in, not sure what to do with your life, then you come out of car hauler.
Right, that's boot camp. That's what basic training's all about. So, and I agree. I think Mike says 4 weeks. I would agree it's weeks. Anthony says 5 days. You could have a 5-day crash course. Okay. So
this is more like a college course instead of just like a boot camp.
And that's why Auto Hauler University is a great name, because really that's what we're talking. This is an educational, academic, multifaceted program. I mean, this is right. It's still cheaper than college, and it might be cheaper than a trade school, but being hooked up with a trade school over time, might be beneficial. But I think to truly brainstorm this and come up with the brilliant idea as we're doing now, just brainstorming, I think is the way to approach it, rather than from a corporate standpoint, who gets how many bear claws, and then, I want my pension and my yacht and stock and all that crap. No, that's not how you approach this. You approach this from a hands-on, we are inside the industry, and therefore we can design it better than, some, Ivy League genius that has never been even near a truck. As great as Ivy
maybe
School
we
is.
could have like a little test track thing where you have to load up a car fast and go drive around fast under pressure. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. No,
Something like that.
well, that would be maybe like after week one, if you do the longer form at the end of week one, I'll tell you what. You know what I do in my dispatcher training, at the end of day one of just observing me, I call it the jump seat. You have to make a phone call. Like, I force you on the phone. And believe me, when you've never called on a load and you see the parameters and the dynamic situation, it's freaky. My first phone call, I was freaked out. Now it's easy, in retrospect, but it's freaky when you think of, gosh, I'm going to book a car and I don't know what I'm doing. It's like anything else. But I agree with you. Yeah. While you're strapping down you got to strap down a car. You got only so much time, and then when there's 2 minutes left, we throw a cell phone at you. You got to take a phone call while you finish.
Yep.
Sirens and scrub downs. That's what we call it.
Our host boot camp.
So listen, man, we're now at 10:15. We're going to end this segment, but I think we accomplished what we were trying to accomplish. We did stage one brainstorming, and now we've got folks.
Orlando, huh?
Yeah, I think that's it. That's your takeaway. Your takeaway is look between Jacksonville and Orlando and see if you can find something that makes sense. You're not that far from the coast, and you're near all kinds of great stuff.
All right. Well, thanks for having me on the call.
Dude, thanks for coming on the show. Listen, man, Serge, it's no secret that you are an institution.
Never thought I'd be connected with that word like that. But I guess that's what happens when you put a bunch of videos up on one topic.
You have put yourself out there, and you are now a legend.
Thanks, Jay.
Yeah, man. You're welcome.
All right. Bye now.
Okay, man. Take care. Be safe out there.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, see you, buddy. Awesome. Right? Who doesn't know who Serge the car hauler is? Now, listen. You don't have to answer that question. There's going to be somebody, I have no idea. But lots of people know who Serge is, and I could see it in the live chat. Just the notion of having him on the show gets people excited. Somebody, oh, wow, cool. Want to hear from Serge. What's Serge doing? He's Serge the car hauler, man. So it's way cool. So it's always an honor to have Serge on the show. All right, so there is Serge Car Hauling Boot Camp, and it really was Serge's idea. I talked to Serge yesterday, and that's how these shows go, man. I put them together last minute because that's how the news is too. I kind of roll with the freak out. That's what car haulers do every day. Yep, that idea came up yesterday, and here we are, and it's great. I'm so excited about it. So also, since we're talking about car hauler training, we're also going to talk about, I want you guys to see this. Check this out. Let's go ahead and minimize this window. And I appreciate you sticking with me. This is one long show, but we're gonna hit 3 hours for sure. So let's watch this. Who wants to watch this with me? Let's go ahead and do this. And hang on.
There's no dead end.
You booking a, you calling another load, Andrea?
Yeah, I just did one.
Did you learn anything? Did you listen to him?
Yeah.
Did you get a good rate out of him?
Yeah.
Did you? What'd you get?
$125.
$1? At 125 a mile?
$1.25.
That sucks.
That's that?
You said that's a good rate.
150.
No.
180.
Where are you trying to come out of?
It's coming from Philadelphia. Well, Topton, Philadelphia. For the Denver.
Yeah, type up Denver and see what it pays out. So they're only going to pay you $1.25 to go across to Denver, and you think that's a good miles? Money, it's going to take you 4 days to get there.
Yeah.
So how much is that per day?
4 days to get there.
How much did they pay you?
I call. There we go. You guys can hear me again. That's what. Okay, there we go. That's what I call dispatching boot camp, and that is why my next guest is Anthony of Shaggy's Consulting. Let's get him on the phone. All right, Shaggy's Consulting and Training. So we're going to talk to Anthony now and hear more about what he's doing. He's got the YouTube channel. He also, I actually saw this live. I saw when he was doing that live.
What's up, brother?
Hey, what's up, man? Welcome to the show.
I'm just watching your show.
All right, dude. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for staying up late for me, too.
No problem.
So we just showed a clip from your YouTube channel. You got Shaggy Consulting and Training, Freedom to Learn. Is that the name of your, right?
Yeah. Yep,
Okay.
it sure is.
All right. So I got your channel pulled up. Now, what are you doing on, and we're talking about, you work in freight, correct?
Right. Opposite. Right. We have a brokerage. We have a dispatching service where it runs about 60 trucks. We have a brokerage where we started 5 months ago just to back up what we're doing. We just did our 5th month, and we're pulling in we just did over 2.7 million in freight as a brand new broker. And we started opening up our class where we're training hands-on for free. So we use the 60 trucks that we dispatch to allow carriers to come into our office, or people that want to be carriers, or carriers that are in trouble, to learn how to book loads hands-on for their husband, or say it's a wife, husband, family member, friend. They want to diversify their company. We teach them how to do it live, hands-on, for free in a 5-day course. And then some of them can stay. Some people stay 2 or 3 weeks. It just depends on what all they need. I mean, we teach brokers, we teach dispatching, we teach the trucking business how to diversify. If it's a company truck, a guy with company trucks and he's just starving from borrowing from one truck to the next, he doesn't understand the owner-operator side. Just about everybody in the business we teach for free.
That's pretty amazing. Well, now you're in Indiana, right?
Brazil, yep, right outside Indianapolis.
Okay, so now, and when you do your training, I mean, was that at your office there in Brazil?
Yeah, that's at our office right there. That video right there had 8 different carriers in it.
I saw it. That was a packed room. You walked around the
we double that now.
Wow. So, and you were live. I think I saw you live in that.
Yeah, we were live. I sneak outside, come in, and catch the people off guard. Try to stand there without them know I'm on camera at first until they see it.
That is so interesting, man. So, all right, okay, so there you are. So there's and I mean, okay, so how's this work? Like are you in charge of the class? Do you have instructors? I mean, how did you structure this?
I have 4 instructors, and then we have 8 sponsors that actually are providing stuff for us to do the classes. But I have 8 instructors. The first day you come in, we have a thing we call Einstein Day, and we go through the PowerPoints that you see in some of my videos that teach you all the terminology, how to negotiate rates. The biggest thing that people don't like is a lot of your carriers are doing nothing but chasing the spot market, and they just don't understand why they should go somewhere or why they shouldn't go somewhere. So we have a map that we built that is our own, where we designed it on the front of it, where it shows all 5 regions of the United States and how they work. There's the Northeast, Midwest, South, Southeast, the Wild West, and then the West Coast. And we teach the differences between each one. That's what that lady was doing, and she was calling from one region to the other 4 regions to find out what the rates pay in those regions without basing it off the numbers that DAT puts on the spot market, because the spot market is just full of freight chasers. And because it's different. Like sometimes in Carl, and you guys go after the snowbirds that are in areas for semi-trucks with freight, they can't go to those areas. So people just don't know, though, because when they get on the boards or they get in the industry, all they know to do is chase the hottest rate that's out there. And consistency, a lot of times, to be able to make a certain amount of money is what you need, depending on what you want to do. Especially if you want to grow your company and take it to the next level, you have to learn how. I mean, if it's a one-truck guy, sometimes they could take more risks, but once you start feeding more mouths and diversifying your business, you got to make sure when you go to sleep at night, you're taking care of those people.
Yeah, no, it's really interesting. Well, and that's one of the reasons when I saw, I mean, number one, I was impressed by the that's a lot of people to train at once. I mean, that's chaos. That is.
Oh yeah, you should. I was going to do that show I was telling you about, where I go and do 30 people in a day and a half, and then like I was listening to your car hauling thing, and when I said 5 days, I was just meaning, like on a 5-day thing, because when you do the car hauling, it's going to be just like my business. You get some people, you got 2 kinds of people. Some that are going to need a lot of it, that'll take 2 or 3 weeks because they have absolutely no clue and they're jumping into it, especially on those ledges. Then you got the ones that jumped into it that just need an expert to refresh them on what they're doing wrong, on some of the stuff that you're doing to help, and some of the stuff that he's doing, Serge is doing on the road. So,
right.
There's just different implements to each one when you're doing this,
Oh yeah, no, I mean you've got that's why you can only have your class size has to be small. I mean,
oh man,
you know what I mean. I mean, if you're to get into minutia,
a company wants me to go to Dallas and do like 30, 40
wow,
at one time. And when you're cramming out so much information, just like you're doing, this is the biggest class I've ever had. It was 15 this week.
Yeah.
And I couldn't even get through what I normally do in 8 hours in one day and my PowerPoints and all this stuff. I couldn't even get through it. We had to finish
right.
it today. And it's just so much. There's no way. I finally figured out there's no way that I could go to Dallas and do a day and a half to give 3 different groups of people the information they need to properly be successful, to keep myself different than what everybody else is doing. It would take 30 people would take 5 days probably.
But what's cool is in this process of training a group like this, I mean, you really get an appreciation for the scope of what you're trying to do, and you begin to hone your training session. I mean, I can just imagine at the end of this day, at the end of any day like this, you get an understanding for what kind of course material you need, what kind of everyone here has an equipment, and they're practicing and learning, and man, it's unbelievable. I love it.
Oh yeah, we're adding more stuff all the time. Like I'm figuring out stuff I need to put. I mean, it's crazy, dude. It's going. And who would imagine you go and you do something for free, and you do a video, and you tell people what they need to hear, and you offer to train them and tell them what they need, and then you back it and show them in person how many people come. It's kind of like that show where they built the Field of Corn or whatever, the baseball Field of Dreams.
Field of Dreams, yeah.
The baseball field, and everybody comes. It's exactly like that. Every night there's like 10 more people. Or like tonight I got off and I had 28. There was 28. There was probably 18 last night that are all wanting to come in, and I can't get them all in at one time.
Wow, that's awesome, man. Yeah, I look forward. I look forward to. I was telling this to Mark at Trucking Answers, and if you haven't checked out Trucking Answers, I encourage you to do that. He's another YouTuber, great stuff. But every time you go live, and that's why I'm totally addicted to this live show now. Like every time you go live, the ability to interact on a regular basis just begins to really not snowball, but like a cloud after an explosion. The cloud just continues to grow. It's amazing,
Crazy.
and it keeps adding to the level of education. I know that. I mean, I feel this way, and I think a lot of people feel this way. That this show each week now I keep raising the bar. We keep raising it together. It's awesome.
Well, I'll tell you, dude, I deal with all the new MC authorities, and I didn't really understand what you did till you hit me up and started talking. And then I just watched half the show tonight while I was waiting to come on for you. And I have so many ideas to help you do it, because, you know, I get probably, I didn't really think about it, but now I listen to you and Serge. I mean, you have no idea how many people I get. I have no clue in the car hauling side that are getting into it.
Right.
And really, and they can't go nowhere to find it. I mean, it's in the same boat. Your side of it, my side of it. I just deal with flatbed, dry vans, and reefers, and some of the hot shot pickup trucks, and some of the smaller ones to get them to diversity. But I mean, there's so many people come out with these what are they, wedges?
Yeah, wedges.
3 car hauling, these things.
Every day.
They're
Every day.
asking me, and I'm like, man, forever I've been, I mean, for like the last year, I'm sure it's been hundreds and hundreds that I've talked to. And, you know, the worst part about it is like I was telling you on the thing, on both sides of this business, is everybody should have the opportunity to be able to get their authority and be able to not be leased on, be able to have their wife learn how to do stuff, and have the freedom to run their own freaking company in this country.
Yes.
And to make as much money as they want to and not be dictated by brokers or whoever it is, like you were talking about that one broker, and to be able to have the freedom to either have somebody help them do it if they're capable, or to be able to do it themselves. And the problem, there's nowhere for them to go unless there's people like us that are going to do it, that are willing to step outside the box and help these people. And that's in the same boat, whether it's car hauling or it's semi-trucks. FMCSA just put it out and said 85% of new MC numbers, because of either CSA or money, because of lack of knowledge, are out of business in 2 years.
Yeah.
On their website.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, well, it's brutal. A lot of guys show up at the DOT and they have no idea what they're in for. Now they did go through. I mean, you've got to get on the road. You're going to have a meeting with the DOT officer, but still, I mean, the things that pop up can be really surprising. And yeah, so and I was going to say this is I've had people say to me, "Hey, I want to learn more about freight dispatching," and I didn't have anybody to pass them on to.
Yeah, no, we take it to a new level. It's not just discussing it. What we do is we actually teach them, because some of the flaws of dispatching services that is most important if anybody's going to do it is you got 2 kinds of people. You got one that can't and they need it, like you were talking about earlier, that have to have help with dispatching, that is not capable of it, and somehow they got their authority, or they did it because they want to, or a business owner that wants somebody to dispatch for them because they just want to make money. Then you got the other 80% that want to learn how to do it themselves. So if you're going to do dispatching of any sort, you have to help the companies. You have to go to the next level and teach these guys how to be safety compliant, how to do it right. You just can't book the loads, or you're not going to be dispatching anybody anyways.
No, exactly. I mean, you really there's so much to know to be a good dispatcher. And same thing, to be a great car hauler. And this applies to anything, but especially in these industries, we know that there are people looking to work in these industries, and it's kind of like the Wild West. Where do you go to learn it?
I don't know, man. I thought there was more places. I see all the schools where they charge like crazy, like broker schools and dispatching stuff like that. But I mean, the people that are doing it, they're not here very long. They're gone, and there's no hands-on. There's no place you can go where you can actually walk in and learn the fundamentals in one day, and then to jump in a hot seat like what you're talking about, where you tell them to book a load. Well, we do that exact same thing.
Exactly.
And we make it live, and they got a choice. I mean, there's 30, 40 trucks that they're booking live.
It's awesome, man. It's so great.
Yep.
Wow.
And
Hey, now, and by the way, and I'm going to say this too, is that we were talking about, I was talking about, and I think I was talking to you about this, but I can't remember now, did we talk about Matt's 2019?
Yes.
Okay, I thought so.
I'll be at the Louisville Truck Show with a company called Rig Nation.
Right. Okay, you're going to be there with Rig Nation. Cool.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, now, does Rig Nation already have a booth? Do you know?
We'll be putting it together. It'll be there. We don't have the booth numbers up yet, but I'll be putting the booth together, and they'll be going. It'll be me, Rig Nation, and Pelican Truck Insurance. We'll all be there.
Cool.
Because Rig Nation will have their new products that they're going to do with those tire inflations and the roadside service and all that. They're going to push it out there. It's a huge program.
That's awesome, man. Well, what I'm working on right now, I'm in the infant stages of working on finding a sponsor. I'm not going to buy a booth, but I plan to go live with a sponsor in a booth.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I'm up. I'm telling you, I'm up for it. That's why we're talking about
it. I'm going to have the booth no matter what. Whether they come in and sponsor it or whatever. I just had one at the Dallas Truck Show on my dime.
Awesome.
And it was huge, man.
Wow.
We got blown up. That's when I found out that I needed to go a little bit viral, a little more, but I don't want to go to the webinar basis. I want to be able to mold people on my way.
Yeah.
So I'm going to stay doing what I'm doing. I'm not going to go and try to become this webinar teaching type guy. It's always going to be they have to come to us. We may travel a little bit, but we will be doing a booth at the Matt's no matter what. It'll be at least, I don't know if Sam, my insurance partner, is going to come, but it'll definitely be me. And 100% it'll be Rig Nation there and some of the other sponsors. So
cool.
We'd love to have you come with us.
Man, I would love, and I'm going. I mean, I'm going to go to the show. This will be the first time that I go live.
Oh, wow.
And I'm going.
Better
well, here's what's cool. I've actually been to this show. I was at Matt's, 2015. I was there in 2015, but I wasn't, I didn't have any role or function. It was my first big trucking show, just got to observe. I did talk to some folks, like I talked to Get Loaded and a few other, but yeah, this will be my first show as Auto Transport Intel.
That's sweet, man.
I know. I'm really excited about it. So we're actually working on it.
I have a few big sponsors like Triumph. I don't know if Triumph will do something there, but they do it over there. I know we're working with DAT right now, really big.
Yeah.
They'll have something there we tinker with. And then we have a few others like Pacific Financial, the broker company and stuff. So were you there when L&J Radio was doing the sponsor there?
Well, you know what's interesting? I know that I saw at least one trucking radio broadcaster, but he had a really small show. Like I didn't see I don't even know what the show was called. He just might have been in.
Yeah, because I think that's when he was there with that accounting service, and they had a few singers there and stuff like that. But it's usually Red Eye or L&J, one of the two.
But yeah, either way, that's that could be what we're talking about. I don't know.
We'll be there with them too. Because
cool.
We're actually our radio show is getting ready to start here in a couple of weeks, so it'll be on Friday night. So more than likely we'll have that going there too.
Well, what I envision is different segments, where one would be talking about dispatching, one would be talking about brokers. And I could do interviews live from the show, but also to get out in the parking lot and see some car haulers with their trucks, talking about their rigs. Maybe we could watch a car get loaded, that kind of stuff. So I know Dave.
That'd be a good place to do it for you too, because that parking lot over there is huge.
Oh my God, this place is amazing. Well, and Dave at Clarksville, he's going to be there because he lives in the Nashville area, so he's going to be there.
Awesome, man.
I know, it's going to be awesome. This is going to be a really cool deal. So I'm excited about it.
Bring a lot of people in there to meet you because there's a lot there. And that's a lot of publicity, too.
Oh, I know.
So many product people there.
Oh, my God. That show's off the hook.
You know,
Yeah.
a million
So.
some odd people, or so. What is it, a million people? Or something
I don't
like
know, but I can't even believe how enormous. I mean, it's so big. I mean, there are.
that? Not a million people. I mean, it's over 100,000 people. Sorry, because it's 100 some odd
Okay,
thousand
yeah,
people.
probably not a million people. It feels like a million
1,500
people.
vendors. Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, listen, man, I can't wait to talk to you more about that, and I appreciate your concept about Rig Nation and the booth. Let's keep talking about it, dude. Thanks so much for coming on the show tonight.
Hey, man, anytime. Have us on. And if anybody needs any help, just let us know, brother.
Hey, well, okay, so hey, how can people get a hold of you? They can what? Go to your site?
They can go on Facebook. They can go to Shaggy's Consulting and Training Group. It's on Facebook on their Shaggy's Consulting and Training page. They can go to shaggyexpress.com. They can go to the YouTube channel at Shaggy's Consulting and Training, The Freedom to Learn. Or they can just hit us up at like 812-870-2039 and call me directly. I'll answer the phone pretty much 24/7.
Awesome, man. Awesome, man. What's a direct email address? What's a good email address for
The
you?
direct email is Scooby, SCOOBY, 0976 at gmail.com.
So we got Scooby0976 at gmail.com.
Yep.
Okay, awesome. Well, we got your email address out there. We got the message on the show. Dude, thanks so much for coming on the show tonight. I really appreciate
Get
it.
with me, man, about that.
Yeah.
I didn't
Oh, we're
really
going
want
to.
do that because
I'm going to
we
email
already
you.
Pretty much got it sealed. We'll be sealing our spot up. Probably, I like the corner area, so I'll be doing a corner section in the main area.
Awesome.
I already know I'm going to do it. I just haven't. I got all the paperwork, so I'll be doing it probably in the next month. I'll get it locked down because it's not till March, so
Exactly.
There's no space.
Well, dude, I love the idea, and I think that we have a great cross promotional opportunity.
Oh yeah, it's totally awesome.
It's awesome.
So, all right.
Awesome, man. All
Yeah,
right, dude,
that's
I'm
cool.
excited. This
All right.
is great. Thank you so much for
Yeah.
offering that too. That's really nice.
Yeah, man. Oh yeah. Peace out.
Okay, man. Take care.
Yep.
All right, peace. All right. Oh my gosh, I'm telling you guys, I am excited, and also, I mean, like, you know, with the Mats conversation that just started a couple weeks ago, I had another phone call today that kind of blew my mind. There's some really cool things happening right now. Just talking about the boot camp and stuff. There's so much. I really am excited. I can't wait until some of this turn. Look at me flipping around on these screens. I'm freaking out. Can't wait to see some of this come to fruition. Because frankly, you know, I work on this show every day. I work on this channel every day. I've built it with my hands, and I can't wait to see some real rewards come from all this hard work. It's still going to be some time, but you know, I'm gonna crawl to the finish line if that's what it takes. Okay, so now we got one more interview. Oh my gosh, 2 hours 40 minutes. We got one more. We're gonna talk to Davison at DP Dispatch Services. To kind of round out the conversation about training, we did, you know, car hauler boot camp, and then we talked about freight broker dispatching training. Davison is a dispatcher that I talk to from time to time, also refer drivers to him. You see him in the live chat. Hey, what's up, Davison? Welcome to the show, man.
Hey.
So man, this is a long show, huh?
Yeah, it's a long show.
but I think that the reason, you know, before I had the car hauler boot camp concept locked down for tonight, you and I were talking about dispatching. That was just Monday, I think like Monday late morning or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was on Monday.
And I made a couple notes. You said something. This is when I said, all right, I'm going to have you on the show. You said, I'm not a personal assistant.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you say you're not a personal assistant? Don't worry. We're not calling anybody out. You know, you don't have to tell me which driver that made you say that. But what it comes down to is, I'll just say this. I'll jump in front of it. When you said that, you said it because sometimes, as a dispatcher, we end up being expected to do things that I think are beyond the scope of what we should be doing.
Exactly.
Because our job is to book cars.
Uh-huh.
And you get made to feel like you're a personal assistant sometimes, which has nothing to do with actually booking cars.
Exactly. Driver keeps calling me every 5 minutes, asking me to help him with stuff that doesn't have nothing to do with the load that he's carrying, or he's gonna pick up, or either drop off. So, I mean, you want more attention, you pay more. It's bottom line, you know.
But even
we're dispatchers, we are hired to book loads, not to spend time on the phone with that driver the whole day.
You know what's really funny is I had a driver, and the dispatcher sitting next to me, I mean, he really did get a lot of comic relief. The driver would call me and tell me that his GPS wasn't working. It became like a regular thing. And he would expect me, I'd be staring at a map, maybe in the middle of Iowa, and I'd be like, okay, so do you see Orchard Lane? It should be coming up on your left. Okay, now don't turn at Orchard Lane, but after that is 230th, which could be a light. You want to turn right at 230th. Like, that's crazy. And yet, that's what our relationship had become.
Wow.
I mean, have you ever... I'm sure you've had other things, but I mean, I was his personal GPS, and I had 4 other drivers to book cars for. How am I booking cars? How am I doing anybody any good by staring at a map and saying, okay, turn right now? I mean, that's insane. And probably only because I was green did I actually do that. I actually did that. And he'd be yelling, and yeah. I would never do that today. I would say, dude, pull over and look at your GPS. And I know that's tough. I mean, nobody wants to be talked to like that. But if we're looking at streets and lights, we are missing loads.
Exactly.
How much time a day do you spend staring at load boards?
The whole day.
Right, the whole day.
I got 3 screens in my office, and all of them on auto refresh.
Got a great question here. I'm jumping in, and when I see a good question, and we're going to come back to the Davison. Andy says, wait, so as dispatchers, you don't guide drivers when they are lost? The answer, Andy, is if you're lost all the time, there's a fundamental problem. You need to get a new GPS, number one. Because there are times in our life where we forget what's normal, and we expect somebody else to just always be there for us. And if a driver is near a major city in Iowa, he's not lost. He's either got a bad GPS, a lack of internal navigation, or we're looking at different dispatches. But I should not be zooming into a city in Iowa and saying, okay, at 4th Street you turn right, at Cedar you turn left. That's crazy. They make devices that do that. So, how many screens do you have in your computer setup?
Well, now I got 1 laptop and 1 screen on the left and the other one on the right.
Right. So
and I'm
3 screens.
Almost done building a new computer with better hardware, so I can provide better the services. Makes easier for me.
Well, that's the thing is that I feel like I can't have enough screens. I've got 2 screens behind me that I use for the show, but during the day I use those screens. Those screens are just for central dispatch. Plus I've got a screen in front of me which you can see. And I'll look at loads. Then I got a screen next to me. That's where I do my spreadsheets, or once I've got dispatches, I'll manage the dispatch. And then I've actually got a screen. I've got 5 screens. And I use all of them. When I'm dispatching, I can't have enough screens. That's why drivers, I see this on Facebook. I know you do too. When I see drivers say that they don't need a dispatcher, I'm fine with that. I really don't care.
Okay, Jay.
But I don't get
How many
it.
load boards
I don't
out
get
there?
it. Huh?
How many load boards out there?
I say there's top 5 car hauling load boards.
Well, 5 load boards out there. And
I say there's
some
5.
drivers think, and they say straight up, "Oh, I book my own loads."
And they're serious, and some guys actually can do it. I want to say this, because you know me, I'm good cop, bad cop. Sean at Ocean Roads Transport is one of the most capable self-booking drivers I've ever met. He's really good at it. He actually used to dispatch and etc. So it is possible. But it's very difficult. Very difficult.
It is.
Because
I mean,
I've missed a load getting coffee. And that's a true statement. I was staring at the screen for several hours, finally went up to get coffee, came back to my desk, the load was on the screen, and it was already booked.
what people have to, especially some drivers out there, needs to understand that there's a lot of dispatchers out there with 3 to 6 screens on their office, and they got their eye on them the whole day. And until you're looking at central dispatch, that dispatcher might be booking a car on the Cars Arrive load board. And all of a sudden, when you go to the Cars Arrive load board
It's not there.
look for a load, that load is already gone.
I know. And see, and I'm glad you said that. That's actually why I say there are 5 car hauling load boards. The fact is, most of the loads worth booking on a load board are posted on Central. But if it's posted on Central, you have to check One Dispatch, Cars Arrive, Metro Loads, and United Road to actually book it. And there's actually others, like Reindeer Auto Relocation, etc. That even though it's on Central, you gotta actually go to those other load boards to book it and see if it still exists, and check the mix.
Mix.
You know?
Oh, mix.
So.
Oh yeah, I mean, and also another little detail that one of these load boards, they always have error on the database.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I don't even understand how there's so much incorrect information. What do brokers do? Now, I know this is a simplified, naive point of view, but I'm going to say it anyways. What do brokers do if not get correct and verifiable information?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I thought that was an essential 101 of their job.
I called in on a broker today, and they were telling me, "Oh, I know. I mean, what I was gonna say.
It's too much
You can
dispatching. It
always-
rots your brain.
He said, yeah, he told me, you can always call and ask for more, but don't tell my dispatching team that they're crazy because the prices is too low, and we know every price, every load out there. We have a multi-million-dollar system, so we are in the market to in order to put the prices for the transporting. How in the heck you have a multi-million-dollar equipment and you having incorrect information on the load board?
That's a fantastic question, because I agree with you. If you're so up to spec, A plus, best in the universe, I've listened to the voicemails. We're the smartest, we're the best, we're the most on time in the universe. Everybody loves us, champions, every single adjective I can think of that goes with perfection. And yet your dispatch stinks to high heaven. How is that possible? I don't get it. I really don't. It sucks. And it's all the time. And I can't actually, not a single top broker can I say I've gotten perfect dispatches every time. I can't even say 80% of the time. Maybe 80, maybe 81. But it's still not the batting average that I need when the tables are turned and there's a problem with us. Oh, every single one of these is rated to tell us they're going to downgrade us. We're not going to get the good loads. We're going to get kicked back to compliance. But I get these dispatches that, I mean, I don't know if their kids are running the office or what happened. I get worked up about it. I freak out over it. It sucks. It makes this job so insanely difficult that when I talk to the customer and she says to me, well, what's so messed up about this? Why are you guys, why this, why you? And I'm thinking, lady, seriously? I'm still trying to figure out if the vehicle I booked an hour ago is actually the right vehicle. And she's like, well, what's the matter with all you guys? I'm like, I'll tell you what, you're asking the right question. You are finally asking the right question. What is the matter with everybody? Dispatching is unbelievably difficult, and it makes no sense. And the thing is that's why I love the notion that a robot can replace this job. Oh, God, I gotta see that robot. I got to, because this is insane. And maybe if we take the data out of the broker's hands and it just goes from the customer, I don't know. I don't like to say these because I think that we need the whole ecosystem. We need customer. Oh, let me start on this side. Customer, broker, dispatcher, carrier. That's what it looks like today in October 2018. Now, in maybe October 2038, we just have robot and robot. Just robot to robot, and everything's robo and techno and loco. Maybe. But in today's world, customer, broker, dispatcher, carrier. And I don't know why the data has to be screwed up from once it just gets to even the broker. The brokers, a lot of brokers will say, "Oh, well that's the info the customer gave me." Really? Because if it's triple listed and it's the exact same in triple listings, that seems like a sign that maybe it's not the customer's bad data. I don't get it. I really don't get it. Serge the robot? Dude, Serge the robot. I'm in. I love it. Let's do it. Let's do robot boot camp.
You know what I don't understand? What some brokers always tell me? I call in on the load, and I ask, is the vehicle drivable? And he said, yes. When the driver gets there, the engine won't start. He got a flat tire, and when I call back the broker, he'd be like, oh, the customer didn't tell me that. Oh, I didn't know that. That's what they always says every time. And another thing that they always says is when the driver gets there to pick up a car, the car is it's packed of boxes, suitcases, and things that carrier is not even licensed to carry. And they just try to push that stuff, to the carrier. Take the car with that stuff anyway.
Well,
and sometimes, I be polite. Oh, we are not licensed, but we can still take it, but we're going to have to charge more. You want it? If you don't want it, I'll call that a dry run, and I'll be giving you a negative.
Well, you're right. Right. You're right. You get threatened. Like, now you're the problem. And you know what? I have a couple things to say. Number one, and by the way, we're doing a search here for Evil Motorsports. We're doing Houston to South while I talk. How many cars you looking for, Evil? And what's funny, and I know you feel this way too, Davison, don't you feel like searching for cars is now in your blood? You've done it so much. You could do a search at any time, and you're ready to sift. You know what you're looking for. Right?
Right.
We're like trained monkeys. Like, if you give me a load board search result list, I kind of know what I'm looking for. I kind of know what I'm not looking for. I also know some of the brokers that as soon as I see their name, I'm like, oh, God. Or if I think I see a dealership with low ratings, I'm like, yes, that kind of, or I'm looking for a sedan, or, you're looking for that trifecta. It's very interesting. Okay, Evil says 3. And then I get another Salt Lake to Los Angeles. We can check that too. So, what's interesting is when it sucks when a broker suddenly wants to put you in like the guilty chair, like they want to throw you in the electric chair, clamp your arms to the chair and start to torture you. And you just booked a car. There's no need for torture devices. Why is this getting personal so quickly? And also I want to say on the driver's side, they're always, no matter how much of a good deal you think you're getting, they want you to keep asking for more money. But if you push too hard, you're going to lose that dispatch.
Yep.
It's really, it's an incredibly strange, multi-dimensional problem. But I don't want to talk a driver into anything he doesn't want to do. Louisiana looks good, Evil. It's interesting. Depends on how far you want to go. In fact, up here you got to be set up with Cars Arrive if you want to. Now I don't think this money pays. I don't think this money's high enough for that short of a run. But you know what I like, Evil, is this one here. Look at this guy. Look at this, Conroe to D'Iberville. Crud, is that double listed? It shouldn't be, but I guess that could be. He doesn't have order ID numbers, but you could call the dealership and see how many he's got. Don't start with the Silverado 2500 HD on a 3-car. Don't book that first. Go for a sedan or an SUV, because you're going to invariably end up with a truck anyways. And Houston's tough, so if you see something good, you got to jump on it and then build your route out of that. It is, and that's why we're talking about. I mean, I think that dispatching boot camp should be part of car hauler boot camp. I want all car haulers to realize what it takes to actually dispatch. If I talk to a new car hauler that's never looked at a load board, no. You have got to learn dispatching the hard way, just like the rest of us. I will not dispatch for you if you've never worked with a load board and talked to brokers. because your expectations are going to be up here, just like car shipping customers. You're going to think that this is not that difficult. That it's like walking into a grocery store and pulling beans and corn and maybe I'll do Spam. Nah, I don't want Spam. It's not like that at all. Not even close. There's so much emotion that goes into every one of these cars. Even, how about this? Have you ever dialed for a load and then you realize you don't want it, you hang up the phone, and immediately your phone's, they're calling you back? They're like,
Yes.
I missed a call. You're thinking, yeah, you did. I have actually had to say, oh yeah, you know what? There's a few of us here. I have no idea who called. Because I don't.
Just use that as an excuse, huh?
I'm like, why should I feel pressured? This isn't the prom. We didn't like go together. I saw a car and I hung up. Who cares? Well, who is this? Like, what? What do you mean, who is this? This is Jimmy Bob's Barbecue. And, can I get beans with that? I mean, come on.
Oh my God.
What is wrong with this industry? It's so insane.
Yeah.
So, and then you think you've got the right car. You think you got it. Oh yeah, this will be great. And then it's Packet City. It's sort of Insurance City. We got to read you the Riot Act. And then after all that, oh, it canceled. Oh my God, no, really? After all, I put an hour into this and it canceled. Okay, all right, fine. Well, we'll just go do something else. Well, and then that's what the driver says. Well, how about let's do that other one we're talking about. Oh, it's already gone. Oh, cool. What time is it? 4 o'clock. Oh, okay. This is just getting better.
Yeah.
I don't even need to go see The Nun. I live in a horror movie.
Yeah.
It's out of control. But if we haven't discouraged everybody yet, this is a good time to talk about dpdispatchservice.com. So, I think you got a great looking website here. And we've talked about different things that we do. So, you know what I like, Davison, is that you're like the older version of me, like where you talked about, broker packets and back office support. I don't do broker packets anymore, but I think that, it's good to do broker packets because it's an important part of getting a dispatch. It's just that, broker packets are not easy. What am I talking?
No, they're not.
What am I talking about? Why don't you tell anybody that's still awake and doesn't know what a broker packet is? Why don't you tell them what we're talking about?
Well, some brokers, they require you to fill out a packet in order to get registered with them and move a load for them. And
How many
also,
pages? How many pages is a typical broker packet?
Around, maybe 2 to 5.
Some of them are like 8 now.
Yeah. But usually 2 to 5 sheets, and
You got to
some of them they got 8 up to 10.
you gotta print it out. First, you gotta get the email. I know, and I love talking about every step because everything should be easy peasy, walking through dandelions. But you gotta get the email. That could take 10 minutes. Then you gotta print it out. The printer's jammed. The toner's low, and then or you gotta run down the hall. And then if you finally get it printed out. Now, do you know the answer to every question? No. You don't. You might know MC authority and address and all that stuff. Plus, I write like a doctor in the middle of the night. It's awful. I cannot write at all. So I'm trying to fill it out like I'm being carjacked. I'm just trying to get through this thing because you got to get the packet filled out before the load is gone. That's the biggest problem.
You know what I do?
No.
I created spreadsheet with every carrier. I put in all their information. You know, company name, address, DOT, MC number, W-9, everything. I gather around all together.
Right.
And when I have to fill out a broker packet, I have everything on my hands. I just have to look it and write it down. You know, it makes easier, but it's awful to fill out a carrier packet. It really is.
Well, I maintain spreadsheets for all my drivers. I have better track of my drivers' passwords than they do. Right? You know what I'm saying. You do too, right?
I do too.
Yeah.
I have a folder for each company that I dispatch for, each driver. And one of the driver that I stopped dispatching for, he called me the other day. Oh, can you help me here? I don't know where is my certificate insurance. Do you have a copy there you can send it over? I mean, come on. You're the owner of the company. You should have it.
Yeah.
Not me.
Well, and that's another thing is, you get through the broker packet, and now what if the insurance company is you know, I in my experience, a third of the insurance companies that I have dealt with, Progressive is the gold standard. Because I can go online and order my own certs in 5 seconds. All right, I don't want to say 5 seconds. That's stupid. I don't like to talk like that. 2 minutes. 2 minutes, and I can create a certificate of insurance, and it gets emailed directly to me. It's amazing. But other than that, you get mom and pop insurance, and I understand we're all trying to do business. But if you are an insurance company and you underwrite or you handle the insurance for a car hauling company, you need boot camp where we explain that it's no joke. We can miss a load if you don't do a certificate right now. And we can't afford to miss loads on certificates. You cannot. That is unacceptable. There are way too many other problems.
I mean, why can't we do it online by ourselves?
And I understand why we can't just have an automated into their system. I get that. You get into APIs and software and geniuses and what. I get that. But please understand that let's come up with a system. If I email you the information needed for the certificate, you have got to have somebody available to get this email and create the cert, because they're not that complicated. I'll bet you it doesn't take the person in the office more than 5 minutes to create a cert. That's a guess, but I think I'm close.
It takes 1 to 2 minutes.
I think it does take 1 to 2 minutes. Yeah, that Corvette and the Suburban do look good. I really like the Suburban, so right now I'm switching. But here's a problem, Andy, is that this ships on the 16th. What is that? Is that next Tuesday? So is that, I think that's, yeah. So that's a problem, depending on when. You got to look at these ship dates. And there's no need to call and talk about other dates. It's a waste of time. So I do like the Corvette, but the thing is, and I think like what you can do is you can do West Valley. Here's something I do. If you don't know an area, go West Valley City, Utah auto auction. Find out. It's probably an IAA or a Copart. Maybe. I mean, I don't know. But that's a good way to find out what you're dealing with an in-op that you don't have any information. Now, I wish there were pictures, but that's not required. And actually, Ship.Cars, have you seen this, Davison, that Ship.Cars has pictures with its listings? Because to me, that's the beginning of the future. If you want to talk about real automation, help the people looking at the lists understand what they're getting into, instead of having, I can't email them, I can't text them, I can't live chat them, all I can do is call, and then wait for him to answer, and then get on the phone, and now he knows who I am, and now he's like, when are you going to pick it up? When are you going to pick it up? What's wrong with you? You know, I don't want to do that. I just need a picture of this car. Where is it? And how bad is it?
Exactly.
And I think going to Los Angeles for 57 cents a mile, I think the broker probably get this car closer to $1 a mile. That's really my belief. I think 57 cents a mile, I think the broker's keeping 40% of the shipper fee. Because to deal with Los Angeles for 57 cents a mile for an in-op, man, and that's where this mix, I found a mix. I wasn't even trying to find a mix, and I found a mix. I like Salt Lake City to Stockton. It could be like auction to auction, but I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and do it. Utah to California. So we go to Metro. We got to see if it's if it actually still is available, and then let's find out what kind of car this is. So let's do Utah to California. Lucky Sevens. Oh, dang it. I think that's what it should say on the screen. It should say Lucky Sevens. Okay, let's try it again. And that's why I made that Dispatch Monkey commercial with the slot machine numbers in the background. Here we go. Ready? Lucky Sevens. Okay. It's still available. Oh! This is another classic sign of the mix. You know what they do? They put two cars together, but call it 2 units, 2 stops. It's probably 2 separate pickups also. I'm not going to click on it. I don't want to see... well, they won't have VINs. Let's see what the mix is. Let's just have some fun. Who's having fun? Oh, it's a Corolla and a Ram 2500. Could be worse. It could be 2 school buses. But, two pickup locations, 2 separate delivery destinations on a mix of a sedan and a truck, 50 cents a mile per vehicle. That's not a good deal. I know they have a strong sales department. I'm guessing the shipper is paying double what they've posted, what they're putting on the load board. In fact, I'm going to guess the sales team has already done the high-fiving and the champagne dance because they probably got like $1.25 per mile. Maybe let's say 80, no. Let's say $1 a mile per car. Yeah, so they're making maybe even more. Anyways, I'm just saying, that's how you build, you know how you build giant offices? By keeping over half of what the shipper pays.
Yeah.
Sucks having the information, doesn't it?
Yep.
I mean, that's just a guess, but it's a guess, it's an opinion. This is not a fact. I haven't stated it as a fact, but I've stated it as a well-educated opinion. And you can't even get extra fries with these chicken nuggets.
Exactly.
Alright. That was fun. But, so I wouldn't call that one. So I would go with the Suburban. Find out, I would tell the Chevy Corvette, get the pictures, ask for another 100, maybe book the Suburban, but that is going to be big. Well, I know, and it's a week ahead. So really you know what, this is a problem.
Suburban is really heavy.
It is. The South...
You got to put more money up to it.
Yeah. And this is the problem. The West is even harder than the Midwest, and the Midwest is not easy. The West is extremely frustrating as far as the load boards. So this is what I've been told. Here's what you do. Is you go to the auto auction with a stack of business cards. Here we go. I got the business cards, okay? Alright? Take my stack of business cards, go to the auto auction. Just go up to the front desk where they pay, where the guys after the auction they pay their cars, take your stack of business cards and just put it right there with the other memorabilia and marketing material and walk out. Drive to the next auction, stack of business cards, stick it on the desk. Do that every week and you will get business. That's what I'm told. You don't have to talk to anybody, shake anybody's hand, smile. You don't have to do anything. Just put the business cards on the table, and when the guys are there paying for their vehicles, wondering how they're going to move it, they start grabbing business cards. And suddenly somebody got your business card. And just like every broke...
10 calls of you,
What?
you're making customers.
And this is free carrier advice. This should be on the back of your t-shirts. That's funny. Let's see, what should be on the back of my t-shirts? Oh, I work harder than... Or I'll do this. Let's do this. That is hilarious. Okay, this is what Sean says should be on the back of my t-shirts. See if we can get that on the frame there. I work harder. You can't see it very well. I think you can see it. I think it... Alright. Okay. Thank you, Sean. That is pretty funny. That's a good idea. Oh, I think I'm about to feed back. Well, listen, man. I think I've gone off the rails for sure. I think this might even be the longest show I've ever had up to this point. But what's interesting is that we're over 3 hours into this show. Still people here. And I mean, it's pretty interesting stuff. Yeah, I need that shirt too. So I want to thank you for... yeah, okay, let's do... Okay, good. So let's go back to dpdispatchservice.com. Let's also tell them that, they can scroll down and go to car hauling consultations. Davison, you are the first person to add Auto Transport Intel to the website. And I appreciate you doing that. And this is part of the car hauling community we're talking about, with the car hauling boot camp, etc. This looks really good. Davison, I love what you've done with your website. It really looks good. What else do you want to say about your website? What else can I share about your website and your services? Please pitch your services.
Well, on the website, as everyone can see once they get in, you'll have shown, it will show the services that I provide, and you can also apply for the dispatching, and also for the consultations, which they will speak directly with you, and they can get all the information needed, And the reason why I created the website, and to get more customers and also share some things. I still gotta put some other stuff up there. It's just the beginning. And when I was creating that website, I thought about it, putting a little consultation page, because when people are looking for dispatchers, they're also looking for to get to know more about the business. And as far as I know today, you are the number one that I know that can, get the consultation needed. You're the best one that have all the information. So that's why I had the idea putting you on my webpage also.
That's awesome. I mean, I really, not only does that help Auto Transport Intel, but I think it actually brings around the idea that if you have any questions about why dispatching, man, I'm happy. Well, shoot, there's a whole channel. All you got to do is watch the videos. You don't even have to call me. Just go to the, here's the link. Just go to the website, watch some videos. And actually, that's the thing. I want to say this as I kind of begin the wrap up here, is what I do is I tell people, listen, you don't even have to set up an appointment. We don't have to talk. you don't have to take my time. I don't have to dip into your pocket. I know money's tight. Just watch. I've got over 80 videos. All you can watch it all, man. I mean, I don't even know how many hours of videos. Plus, you've got the blog posts, and you got the 20 steps to car hauling, and I'll even, I refer dispatchers. I do all that stuff totally free of charge. Oh man, ow! I do that free of charge. I'm happy to do it. And if you want more, that's where the consultation comes in. So, I mean, I appreciate you putting that information out there. Thank you for doing that. And I think we have a good referral thing going here. I mean, if I get drivers that I can't take drivers, then I send them to you, and in exchange, if people need a consultation, you send them to me. This is awesome. And I want to do this more. So if you've got if you got a car hauling business and you have a website, Facebook page, and you want to connect and cross promote, please send me an email, autotransportintel@gmail.com. You can go to my Facebook page, send me a message, and yeah, man. I mean, I really like what's happening in the car hauling community. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Well, I think we have hit the limit. What do you say?
Yeah, we did. That 2 hours, then almost,
We're at 3.5. We're at 3.5.
3.5.
We-
Almost 4 hours. So, wow. You hit the limit.
I hit the limit. So, listen, man, I know it's late. I want to thank you for coming on the show, Davison. I'm going to let you go, and I'm sure we'll be in touch soon.
All right.
All right, man. Thanks.
Well, thank you, and have a great night.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much. And, hey, what's the email address for you? Your email address is dpdispatch1
At gmail.com.
Let me put that. I like to always do that. dpdispatch1@gmail.com. dpdispatch1@gmail.com. Awesome. All right. If you have a question and you're looking for a dispatcher, you can email dpdispatch1@gmail.com.
Or either access the website and apply, and we'll get in touch within 24 to 48 hours.
Which is dpdispatchservice.com.
Correct.
All right, let me put that in here. dpdispatchservice.com. All right. Okay, cool, man. All right, I'm going to say goodnight to you, Davison. Thanks so much for coming on the show tonight.
Thank you very much, Jay.
All right.
Have a great night.
Peace out.
Peace.
All right, see ya. All right, let me give him a siren. Okay, man, I'm telling you, if you made it this far, then you surely do love car hauling, right? There's no bones about it. To hang out this long, and you know what? It's a testament to this is a good way to spend a Tuesday night. Learn, network, share, cry, whatever it is. But I want to thank you guys for tuning in tonight. I think we do need a car hauler boot camp, or at least more of them. And I think we had some amazing conversation tonight on that topic. So I want to thank you guys for spending your Tuesday night with me. I really do appreciate it. Again, if you haven't already hit that like button, please do so. I'm Jay. I'm the car hauling dispatcher. I do go live on Facebook occasionally. I don't have a schedule per se as of yet, but I do book cars live on Facebook. I'm here every Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, and I'm going to fire up the car hauler now. So thank you guys so much. Here comes the car hauler. I will see you next Tuesday night. I don't even know what we're going to do, but if you got something you're just dying to tell me that we need to talk about, whenever that happens, autotransportintel@gmail.com. Visit the YouTube site, Facebook, and blog site, and I'll see you guys next week. There it comes. Oh, wait, is there any sound? Let's get some sound. Oh, I think I hear it. Nope, I turned it off. Oh, yeah, it's coming through. Okay, guys.